eye to eye. There's nothing I know about this. Nothing.
This is 17-year-old Javarsi Tapley, who murdered his cousin Caleb Short. However, he didn't stop there. He also killed Caleb's mother, Gloria Short, and his 10-year-old niece, Gianna. But why would he kill his own family? This discovery was made on January 4th, 2016, when Caleb's father, Robert Short, came home from work and was met with a horrifying scene. His entire family was lying dead in a pool of blood.
Please send someone, please. I want to kill my family.
Someone killed your family?
Somebody killed my came home, my family's dead.
When the detectives brought Javarsi into the interrogation room, they confronted a very stubborn suspect who was continuously trying to outsmart them.
Do you want to kill an innocent child?
No, sir, I would not.
A person like you won't kill a grandmother?
No.
Javarsi Tapley is a 17-year-old who grew up together with his cousin Caleb Short and his family in Upatoy, Georgia. But unknown to the others, jealousy was building up inside Javarsi's heart, and this jealousy would soon destroy the happiness of the entire family. On January 4th, 2016, after the tragic 911 call, officers arrived at the scene only to witness that the house had become a place of horror. But despite the grim circumstances, the officers pushed forward and interviewed a heartbroken Robert.
So I went in. My wife was laying in the hallway, face down. And stuff was scattered everywhere. And I checked the pulse and no pulse.
Now, when you say you check the pulse, where you check a pulse at? Carotid order.
And I saw my granddaughter laying in the living room, face up. And I checked her pulse, and she was cold. And I started running through the house looking for my son, calling his name. He went in his room. So I ran back out into my room and found him in my bedroom closet, tied up.
Take your time.
I didn't check the house no further than that. I came back out and then went back in and checked him again.
So you say you came back out?
I came back out to my wife and then went back and checked on him, and I couldn't get to wake up. Then I started trying to call 911. I haven't taken me a couple of minutes to call 911 because I was also.
Now, with your son, did you check his pulse also?
Yeah.
Okay. And you mentioned that your granddaughter, you check her pulse?
Yeah.
When the detectives couldn't find any useful information from Robert, they started digging into Caleb's close contacts. They searched through Caleb's phone, and the last person he had contacted was his cousin, Javarsi Tapley. The entire Short family was butchered brutally, and the murder scene was disturbing enough to unnerve even the most hardened officers. Adding to the unnerving circumstances, there was no CCTV footage or any witness to the crime. The only lead the detectives managed to secure was Caleb's contact list and the one name that stood out. With that, they brought in Javarsi as their primary suspect, since he was the last one to call Caleb.
First of all, I want to thank you, for, coming down, cooperating with us and, willing to help us with what's been going on. We just want to try to, meet with some of the family members, just want to see what information that they have or anything that they knew. Tell me about Caleb. Who is he to you, first of all?
My cousin.
What type of kid was Caleb?
Caleb, now, his mouth can be a little, but Caleb was the sweetest kid you'll ever meet, sir. The sweetest kid.
Okay, he was real sweet.
He'll never harm anybody else. Of course, everybody talk a little smack every now and then. I do it myself. I'm pretty sure you do it from time to time, but other than that, Caleb didn't have no problems with anybody, not that I know of. Basically, I was his only kind of brother figure in his life.
Right.
And he was kind of only mine because me and him used to go on vacations and I went out there with stuff like that. Like I was telling him, I didn't know too much about Caleb's social life. All I knew is when I come out there, it would just be me, him, and his friends.
Right.
So like with your homeboys at high school, y'all sit around, joke around, play basketball, talk about girls, and that's what we do. That's what we do.
Right.
Although detectives let him go, they had a hunch that Javarsi was hiding something behind his friendly face. They would soon find out that their suspicions about him were correct. 2 cars were stolen from Caleb's residence during the incident. Detectives managed to track the GPS of one of the vehicles that led them to Oakland Park. Both of the vehicles were found at the same place. Using luminol, bloodstains were identified in the car, and detectives carefully collected DNA samples and fingerprints from both the interior and exterior of the vehicle as part of their investigation. After the news broke about the stolen cars being found, the police received an unexpected call from a woman indicating that her son, Raheem Gibson, might be involved in the theft of the vehicles that were found in Oakland Park.
He said that he was with a friend. What's the friend's name?
All I know is
Weta?
and Weeda and some other boy. Another boy name. Wheat, huh? Weeda. Weeda.
And he said they went to the house and
I don't know what house. They came back with some stuff.
Where's the stuff?
That boy came back driving the car, my child did.
okay.
Whatever they find in Oakland Park.
Following the lead, detectives brought in Raheem Gibson, who would later become the key to solving the entire case.
So here we are, we're at the house. Does he give you a plan, or what's Weeda telling you? Does he give you a role?
No, he just says he ain't gonna tell who I am when he first comes to the door, so y'all just stand on the side.
Okay. But backing up, what did you say you saw in the driveway?
Basketball goal.
Okay, basketball. Was there any vehicles in the driveway at this time?
Yes.
Okay. What vehicle was in the driveway?
The truck.
Okay, when you say truck, do you know what color the truck was?
Black.
Okay. Truck as in like it had an open part in the back or an SUV?
SUV.
Okay.
Closed.
Okay.
Detectives seem to have a breakthrough, but the real hurdle is about to begin. They would soon hit a roadblock while trying to get Javarsi to confess.
But you might have had something to do with it.
Yes, sir.
What you know about that?
Nothing. I mean, why would I do something like that? I told you my whereabouts. My grandma can tell you my whereabouts where I was.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I have anything to do with my own cousin?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you. I mean, we just have to, if people tell us something, we just have to check into it.
Yeah, I understand that. I would never have something to do with it. Knowing all these years I've been knowing him, never even crossed my mind to do something like that, have anything to do with something like that. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
No. I just can't. I didn't do that. I promise you that.
Because man, this was a terrible incident. Nobody deserved that.
They really didn't.
And nobody deserved that. So, you got a child, teenager,
And a grandmother
And a
slash
grandmother.
mother.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was saying, I don't even see myself even being in no situation like that.
And why's that?
Because I'm not that type of person,
What type of person is that?
A cold-hearted person.
Cold-hearted person.
Yeah. I don't see myself hurting anyone.
Mm-hmm. You never gotten upset and want to hurt somebody?
No, sir. Well, everybody got upset.
Uh-huh.
Can't even lie about that.
Yeah.
As far as getting upset
Mm-hmm.
and going off and stuff like that, I don't.
Well, let me ask you this, man. Why would people be saying, what if I told you, why all these people would be saying that you had something to do with it?
Probably because Caleb was my cousin, and they saw, when me and Caleb was together or something like that at the mall, they saw me and him together. So they figured if he always with Caleb, he probably know who Caleb had beef with, who Caleb all let come to the house, who Caleb hung out with, who Caleb did this with, who Caleb did that with. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, but stuff like that, no. I don't know who he had beef with or anything like that.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir. I'm positive.
So you don't know nothing about this incident at all?
No, sir.
You ain't heard anything about it at all?
No, sir. As far as my grandma saying what she said and stuff like that.
And what she said again?
She had said that she think it was somebody in the family or something like that. And that dude on the corner at that store, he told us he see like the same thing. And I was thinking to myself, it can't be, because everybody in Caleb's family is too sweet like that. And nobody on our side of the family even met that side with my grandfather. his side of the family with Caleb now. So that's why I was like, no, y'all can't be right.
In his second interrogation, Javarsi plays mind games, trying his best to showcase his love and affection for his cousin and extended family. However, the detective knows the true nature of his heart.
I understand y'all want to know who did this and all, but as far as information, I honestly don't know. With the swab and all that, I said, I didn't see no point of doing it. Like I just told that detective right there. I said, you find anything the same day, you got my grandmother's number, you know where she live at, I'll come in and do everything.
What you mean by that? I mean, you gotta clarify for me.
I mean, as far as me not being out there since June, there's no even way of point. And for...
What do you mean find anything? What you talking about?
He said something like, if he come across anything in the next 2 or 3 months, he just want to make sure I'm out the way. But like I said, you got my grandmother's number, you got my number, you got the address. Not going nowhere. I'm there. I go to Spencer High School. I'm there. You call her, ask her, and like I said, I told y'all I'll think about it, but I just didn't see no point in doing that. But yeah.
Okay. Well, we appreciate it. You know, we had to ask you. Just support of the process, okay?
Yes, sir.
And I want to say this to you again. You hear anything, or you remember something that you may not remember tonight,
give y'all a call.
Give us a call.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, let me go check on some stuff. Let's see about getting you out of here, man.
All right.
Appreciate your time. Appreciate you coming down, okay?
Can you please take me home now? I'm sleepy as a dog, man.
Give me a few minutes, okay? I'll get you home, okay?
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The detective is pushing him to admit his guilt, but he lies through his teeth without any remorse. He even challenges the detectives and refuses to take DNA tests. But his struggle to keep his secret buried was soon about to fall apart.
I just get a vibe about you. And, you know, if something just keep telling me that things not adding up here, man. I don't think you're being truthful with me.
I'm being 100% truthful with you.
I don't think you are. I don't think you are. You know, I've been doing this, you know, for some time now, speaking with people, and some things you telling me, it don't make any, it's not adding up. It's not jiving.
Well, I'm telling you what I know, and from what I have done with Caleb, and as far as being around him and stuff like that.
Well, I think you know more than what you're telling me.
I honestly don't.
I do. And deep down inside, you may know why I feel that way.
Not really. As far as you asked me what my whereabouts were, I told you. My grandma can vouch for me.
Is there anything you want to get off your mind? Anything you want to get off your chest?
No, sir.
Anything you want to get off your heart?
No, sir. Sitting here looking you eye to eye as a man.
As a man.
I don't have nothing to hide. I mean, like, if you don't believe me or whatever, I mean, that's just how you feel.
Okay.
Eye to eye. There's nothing I know about this. Nothing.
So a person like you want to do that?
No, sir. Never, ever. Can harm nobody.
Person like you want to kill an innocent child?
No, sir, I would not.
Person like you want to kill a grandmother?
No.
A caring person like Miss Gloria?
No.
Person like you want to kill Caleb?
No. Been straightforward with you since the first moment I walked in here.
It's about 100% clear now that Javarsi is truly a pathological liar. At this point, it's quite shocking to see that he still shows no trace of remorse. This attitude strongly hints at sociopathic tendencies. He knows that his lies are caught, but even then, he keeps on provoking the detectives.
We had some people down there talking to your grandmama. Is there any reason why they would tell us that you and Caleb were kind of like video game buddies?
We never had the same systems.
Well, I'm just asking because that's what they were telling us, which made me kind of wonder because you were telling me y'all weren't that close and you don't really know much about him. So you don't play no games with him online or nothing
No,
like
sir.
that? I know Detective Malone here told you what he thought about it, and I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
I understand. If I knew anything, I would tell y'all. But as far as like video game buddies and stuff like that, no. I don't play any games. I don't own any games. The last game I owned was right before I lost my last job. Was working at Waffle House. I worked at Little Caesars before that, and I barely can afford to make payments on that, so I took that back.
I think you know more than you're telling me.
Which I don't.
I'm just telling. I'm being honest with you. I ain't lied to you since I come through this front door with you. But I'm just there's something in me telling me that you can help me out, and I don't know why you're holding back.
I'm not holding back. I promise you I'm not.
I'm being honest with you.
Same thing I told him.
You know, I don't. My job is not to bull people, and there's just something. Everything you're saying to me, it's like you want to dance around everything, and I don't get that because it's your cousin. It's not my cousin.
I understand. I'm telling you what I know. From my family members to theirs, they know I don't have much contact with Caleb. Caleb don't tell me anything. I don't do anything with him, like as far as video games or anything.
But you say you tell me if you did, right?
Yes, sir, I would.
He's clearly trying his best to prove his emotional and mental distance from Caleb, but little does he know that the detectives have already secured enough evidence to send him to jail. Moreover, his friend Raheem has already confessed to his own involvement in the burglary and implicated Javarsi in the brutal murder of his family.
Okay, so now you guys are at the front door, and he tells you what again?
To go on the side of the house because he's not going to come out if you see 3 people.
Okay. And so you and Quez are waiting at the side of the house. What are you guys talking about when you're on the side of the house? Seriously, I mean, you're probably like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me in your own words. What did he say to you?
I said, what are we doing? He said, just be quiet and wait for him. And I was like, okay. Mm-hmm. Then when he came to the door, he snatched him, and I just...
Well, I mean, you say snatch. Just tell me, like, real simple terms. Did you see him put his hands on him?
No. I just guess he snatched him, because when I did see, when I heard it, I came around the corner.
Okay, now is the front door closed when you come around the front?
I never came. I came to the front of the corner.
Okay. I understand.
And then I looked. He had him in the front of the yard on the ground.
And so when you say he's on the ground, who's on the ground?
Javarsi and other Caleb.
Okay, are they fighting?
No, he was just holding him on the ground.
Okay, who's on top?
Javarsi.
Okay, so Javarsi is physically just holding down, or has he got his knees on him, or how would you describe it?
Got it. Holding his hands on.
Okay.
Holding his hands behind him.
Okay, is he asking you to help him, or how does that work?
He asked me to help him. I said, if no.
Mm-hmm.
And I just stood in the bush and I sat down. Then the other boy helped him. They tied him up. I started shaking.
Okay. When you say tie him up, I think rope, but what did they tie him up with?
Tape.
Okay. There's all kinds of tape. What color was the tape?
I guess duct tape because it was gray.
Okay, so you're saying duct tape because it's gray or silver. Would you say silver or gray?
Yeah.
Gray, silver, but it's shiny. Okay. When he ties him up, what hands or what part? Can you show me?
Tied him up like this.
Okay. So his hands are like this?
No, like this.
Okay, like this?
Yeah.
Okay. Any other tape, or he just tapes them all the way around like this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So what's he saying to him at this time?
He just kept on saying,
Caleb is saying this?
No.
Or, okay. Okay. Well, what's Caleb saying? He's got to be saying...
Yeah, he was just like, why? You better be playing.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I was sitting in bushes, I seen him walk past with him.
Okay. Now, is he dragging Caleb, or,
He's walking him.
Okay, he's walking him. Okay. And what's he saying to him?
Telling him to be quiet.
Okay.
Javarsi had murdered the entire Short family and tried to stage the perfect burglary. However, his evil plan was doomed to fail, as Rahim would soon reveal exactly how and when Javarsi devised his sinister scheme.
Wida and him, they go inside the house.
And
Quez, okay? And you stay outside. Did they tell you stay here, be the lookout, or why do you stay outside?
I didn't want anything to do with that.
Okay. Did they ask you to come in?
Yeah, they kept on telling me come on. I kept on saying I don't want nothing to do with it. That's not what I came here for.
Okay. If I had asked you what you did go there for, what would you say?
He said to go see what he got for Christmas.
Okay. So you're in the bushes. Do you see anybody drive by?
No.
Okay, so you don't see any lights or anything?
No.
Okay. How long were they inside the house for?
About 30 minutes.
30 minutes? Okay. What do you hear? You hear any noises?
Mm-mm.
You don't hear anybody screaming?
No.
You don't hear anything? Okay. So 30 minutes, and then what's the next thing someone contacts you? What happens?
Quez came, he said, come on for the girl. I said, what y'all do? He didn't say nothing. And then when I was getting in the car, Javarsi came out. He said he'll be right behind us. He could get more stuff.
Okay. Okay, so now you walk to the garage, correct? Okay, now how do you know to be the driver or the passenger?
I wasn't gonna be the driver.
Okay.
But I was the passenger.
Okay, and I'm not trying to put words, but I mean, are you helping them put things in the trunk or?
No, everything was already in when I came.
Okay, so everything was already in. Okay, what did you see that was in the vehicle?
Boxes of shoes.
Okay, do you know any brand names of shoes or?
Jordans.
Any other Nikes? What else? TVs, PlayStations?
No, I didn't see nothing.
No TVs.
No.
So they were there just to get, was it jewelry, clothing?
Only thing I seen was shoes.
Okay, shoes, okay. When you're looking at the garage, and it's a double car garage, is the vehicle on the left side or the right side or in the middle?
The middle.
The middle? Okay. And when you come around, you get in the passenger seat. Is Quez already in there or you just sit in the car?
We getting in at the same time.
Okay, getting in at the same time. And you say the boxes are in the back seat or is there a trunk? I'm not familiar.
Back seat.
Okay, back seat. Okay. And how many boxes of shoes would you say?
6.
Okay.
7. 6 or 7.
Okay.
It's important to note that Quez is actually a nickname for Rufus Leonard Burks, one of Javarsi's friends. And now, the detectives are finally getting a clearer picture of where Rahim, Javarsi, and Rufus were on the day of the incident. Unlike Javarsi, Rahim isn't making things difficult for them, at least for now. But that cooperation is not going to last much longer.
So everything you think that was taken was in the VW Beetle? Okay. Why do you think Wida didn't leave with you?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm just asking. Can you guess why?
He told us he was getting more stuff. But
He said he was getting more stuff?
But later that night when I asked what did he stay for and get, he said, don't worry about any stuff.
Okay, so you guys leave and Wida is still there.
Yeah.
Okay. Is the door open from the garage in? Can you see anything?
No.
Okay.
I just seen the light was on.
Okay, the light was on. Can you describe any of the noises?
I didn't hear no noise.
Okay, did anybody yell, scream, anything break?
No.
Okay. Okay, so you guys back out and Quez is driving, and tell me again, where do you go?
The same way we came.
The same exact route. Past the airplane place, past DMV. Okay. And then KFC, that way back. Now, who tells you, or why do you guys go to your final resting spot? You don't go to your house, correct?
No.
Okay, so where do you go?
He called Quez, and then he drove to Rigdon Park.
Okay. Now, are you familiar with Rigdon Park?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know why? Do you know why that area? Okay. So you drive to Rigdon Park.
I didn't drive.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth. You arrive there and as a passenger, and so you're just sitting there?
Yeah.
Okay. And how long do you think you sit there?
30 minutes.
Okay.
30 minutes.
Does anybody call you, or do you call anybody?
No, Quez.
Quez is on his phone again.
No, he called Quez and tell him he was on his way.
Okay.
Then he finally came and told us to leave.
Okay, and so how do you leave that Rigdon Park?
We go out the main entrance and just turn out and just walk down the long road.
There are still gaps in the story that the detective needs to piece together as clearly as possible. What happened after they left the car in Rigdon Park still remains a mystery. Without these small but crucial details, the case remains a challenging puzzle for the detectives.
Okay, so you don't really, as soon as you leave the park, you turn left and go straight towards South Lumpkin Road?
Yeah.
Okay, you just go straight up. Why is he still in the vehicle, and why does it make you guys walk?
He said he's gonna take it somewhere else.
He didn't offer to drop you off?
No.
You didn't ask him?
I wasn't gonna get back.
You weren't gonna?
No.
Okay. When's the last time you see Quiz?
We all walked together to watch his grandmother's house.
Okay, so you stayed on Calhoun?
Yeah.
Okay, and is that where you sleep that night?
Most of the night, then I walked to my grandmother's house.
What time do you think you walked to your grandmother's house?
1 a.m.
Weeda, when's he come back?
He came back the same when we all went to his grandmother's house.
Okay, you guys walked from Rigdon Park, correct? And you walked straight there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and but Weeda drive somewhere.
Yes.
Okay.
But he was already there when we got there.
Oh, so he beat you back.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And his grandmother lives on Calhoun Road. He lives with his grandmother. Okay. Do you have any idea what time that is, or?
11, 12.
Okay. Okay. The shoes are in the Beetle. When did the shoes leave the Beetle?
He had him there at his grandmother's house because they switched them. They switched it out the cars when we met at Rigdon Park.
Okay, so when he arrives at Rigdon Park, you're still there. You guys load up
Yeah.
the SUV, and then you walk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Where are the shoes now?
In the truck.
In the truck. Okay.
And he says he's gonna ditch the car.
Okay, so he never brings the shoes back to his grandmother's house?
He did. I don't know
When did you see the shoes at the grandmother's house?
when we got there.
Okay. Okay, so you last saw the shoes technically in the VW, get put in the SUV, and then you walk to Calhoun, but he's already there with the shoes
Mm-hmm.
and no SUV.
No, it's
Okay. And then do you guys sit around, talk? Do they smoke? Well, what do they do?
just smoked.
What's he talk about? Did he tell you what happened inside?
No.
You don't get into what?
I kept asking what he did, why he stayed. And he just said, be quiet, mind your business.
Raheem and Rufus walked straight from Rigdon Park to Javarsi's grandmother's house in Calhoun. But when they reached, Javarsi was already there, having abandoned the SUV. Clearly, Raheem's statement about leaving Caleb's house and reaching his grandmother's house contains a significant time discrepancy. Javarsi texts Raheem around 12 p.m. Roughly, after 2 hours, they meet at Javarsi's grandmother's house. At around 5 p.m., they meet Rufus. Then, at about 5:30, they're at Caleb's house. Raheem and Rufus then leave in the SUV. Later, Raheem and Quez come back to Javarsi's grandmother's house around 11 or 12 p.m. But when they arrived at Javarsi's grandmother's house, the SUV was nowhere to be found, and the shoe boxes had already been unloaded. So, the question remained, how did Javarsi manage to ditch the SUV and the other car so quickly, reaching his grandmother's house faster than his friends? Unfortunately, Javarsi and Rufus still refused to provide the missing details, keeping much of the story unrevealed. On January 12, 2016, Javarsi was arrested based on the evidence gathered from his grandma's house. It's regrettable to see that all three of the perpetrators of this case were juveniles. In 2018, Javarsi Tapley was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Raheem Gibson was sentenced to 30 years in prison, and Rufus Burks was sentenced to 2 consecutive life sentences.
I didn't kill her, Me and my roommate might didn't have the best relationship. I don't know.
This is Shantarika Madden in the interrogation room for the suspected murder of her roommate, a young rising basketball star, Tina Stewart. She initially claims she was away from the apartment at the time of the murder, but it wouldn't take long for the detectives to poke holes in her story.
Now, you're at a critical point right now, all right? You're at a fork in the road.
That's what I'm telling you, because it's the truth.
Well, I don't believe you.
As the interrogation progresses, detectives stumble upon a carefully orchestrated killing, covered up with lies, distractions, and one crafty Shantarika right at the center of it.
Before I ask him questions, would this be life?
There's a good possibility.
On March 2nd, 2011, 21-year-old Tina Stewart reported 18-year-old Shantarika for smoking in their off-campus shared apartment near Middle Tennessee State University. As an athlete, a rising basketball player, she feared that even secondhand smoke could jeopardize her drug test results and her future. But as the campus officer walked away, darkness crept in behind the closed doors of the apartment. The evil that lurked in the darkness stabbed Tina, rupturing a major heart artery and puncturing her lung, leading to severe bleeding. The wounds ended Tina's aspirations, along with her life, in a brutally horrifying way. Shantarika was the first to reach the scene, so she was brought into the interrogation room to build an initial timeline. This interrogation demonstrates some of the most intriguing interrogation techniques implemented by one of the most seasoned detectives.
That apparently earlier this evening there was some sort of altercation between you and your roommate, and the other guy. Is that your boyfriend or is that her boyfriend?
That's her boyfriend.
That's her boyfriend. Now, does he live in the apartment too, or?
He always there, so I guess you could say.
Yeah, he lives there, just now and leaves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So start kind of early this afternoon and tell us what's going on. I think earlier a officer or a courtesy officer came to your apartment because there was a smell of some weed or something in the apartment. Is that right? Okay. Now, take me right around that time. Up until now, and kind of explain to me how we got to this position.
Okay, when I got there, I don't know what time it was. I have no idea what time anything was. But my friend, she was like, "Can we go to your place?" And I was like, "Okay, that's fine." And she was already smoking.
Yeah, who's your friend?
Her name Nene.
Nene?
Yeah, that's the only thing I know about is Nene.
Okay.
And she was like, "Okay." I was like, "Okay," so I went there to get my keys, and we walked to my place. And I think we had been there like probably a few minutes. And I guess my roommate had called the front desk, and the front desk sent the police over. And I talked to him, and he was basically like, if he searched my room and he didn't find anything, then it'll be cleared. And if I told him the truth, so he searched, and he was like, "Well, you told the truth." And he said, "But he's still gonna have to talk to the manager."
Now, was Nene there then, or?
Yeah, we were still there. And after he left, I talked to Tina, which is my roommate. I talked to her. And she kind of shoved me, and I kind of shoved her back. And then next thing I know, we was fighting.
Okay, what did she, back up just a little bit, okay? Now, is Nene still here during this time?
Yeah, Nene's
okay. Now, back up just a little bit. The courtesy officer leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, how did you get from the courtesy officer leaving to the shoving?
Oh,
What happened?
well, after he left, he just walked me downstairs and talked, and then he left.
Okay.
Basically like that. And he was like,
and then you went back up.
Yeah, and I told him thank you, and he said have a good day, and I went back upstairs.
Okay. And then when you got back upstairs, what happened?
And then I knocked on her door and told her that I need to talk to her, and we talked, and it kind of got heated because we both kind of had attitude with each other.
Was she in her room?
Yeah, I knocked on her door.
So you knocked on her door, which is
closed. On her door.
Okay.
And my hand was on the doorknob to wait for the open so I could twist it because it was locked. So I just kind of held my hand on the doorknob.
Okay.
And she unlocked it, and I opened it. And we got into this little heat argument about that because she got mad at me for when I called the office on her. And she was like, "Well, why you didn't tell me this? Why you didn't tell me this?" And then she kind of shoved me, and I shoved her.
What was she talking about?
I had called the office probably like a month ago, and I told them that I was tired of seeing her boyfriend every day because he not paying rent, so why is he there? And they basically just told us we had to talk about it, and we did talk about it. But she kind of still had this heat against me.
Yeah.
And then when we fought, she kind of just slammed my head. So she was pounding my head, and I was pounding her face, and just with my hand.
Okay.
And then she pushed me to the ground. When she had my head, she pushed me to the ground. So I was right on the ground, and I got up. And she was like, "Get out of my room, get out of my room." So I left, and I went in my room. And my friend, she had already had the door shut, so she was getting her stuff and she was leaving.
This is Nene.
This Nene. Nene left, and
Now is what's her boyfriend's name?
I don't know.
I think I have it somewhere. But okay, was her boyfriend there? Okay, he wasn't there. So it's
I think she was talking to somebody on the phone when I interrupted her when I knocked on her door.
Okay, so but it was just you, Nene, and Tina.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And Nene, she was getting her stuff and she was leaving. And I was like, well, I just meet you back at the school. And my roommate, she was doing something. I think she was putting on her shoes because I seen her kind of roaming around moving. Because that's normally what she was doing. And she turned down her TV. And she put on her jacket and she walked out the door. And she ain't no keys, so I didn't think she was going too far. So I was already packing my stuff to go home for spring break.
Mm-hmm. What were you packing in here?
A black bag. It probably was sitting outside.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Okay.
Yeah.
As Shantarika begins to talk, the first incident she describes is her argument with Tina. But how strategically she portrayed herself as a victim is her first attempt to clear her name. She was shorter in height, which suggests that she could be telling the truth. But how much of the story is true is what the detectives would eventually find. Another part of the lie is that she built her alibi around Neen. Still, when the detectives investigated, they found no evidence of any other individual in the house other than Shantarika and Tina. This is just the beginning. Soon, she'll face questions she would have never expected.
And I was packing my stuff, and she was going out the door, and I kind of left. I was going to walk to my cousin, but I walked all around the parking lot, kind of because I was trying to get out the nerves out of my system. And I didn't shut the door. I just kind of shut it. I didn't lock it. I didn't bring my keys with me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I called my mom. No, I called my friend first. My friend Carlisha. I called her. And she was like, okay, what happened? How you get to fighting? And I told her that we just got to fight. And she was like, really? I was like, yeah. And I told her to come get me. And she hung up. And then I called my mom because she was like, did you call your mom? And I was like, no, I didn't call her. And so I called my mom. So she went and asked me, did I call again?
Mm-hmm.
And my mom was like, well, what happened? And I was telling her how we got to fight. And she was like, they need to get you out that apartment and stuff like that. And so I got off the phone with her. But my friend Carlisha called me back. And I told my mom I was going to call her back.
Mm-hmm.
So I went upstairs to my room.
Now, during these phone conversations, you were outside?
I was still outside. And the door was still, it was like, wasn't closed. I kind of shut it.
The front door?
I shut the door. And it wasn't closed. It was kind of like cracked. So I just thought she came back.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went in my room and I had clothes in the dryer. So I just put them in the bag because they were still wet, but I still put them in the bag so I could just leave.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went in the kitchen, all the stuff was in my hand. Everything just quiet besides her TV, so I couldn't hear nothing. But when I went back outside, I was going to go to my cousin, but I turned back around and went back upstairs. And I went back in my room because I was trying to fix my bed. And I had orange juice on the floor, so I put the orange juice back in the refrigerator. And through that time, Nene didn't call me or nothing like that, but my roommate car was still outside. So thinking, okay, she ain't going nowhere. And probably like 30 minutes passed, I had her boyfriend come through the door. And he was like, I said, she not here. I was like, she was gone. And he was like, she gone. So he turned back around, went to the door, but turned back around. And I was going behind him, so we kind of bumped into each other. And he went to the door and he opened it. And he kind of left it cracked. And I was walking to my room, so when it was still cracked, I just kind of looked in and he was bending down and he started yelling. And my back was on my shoulder. So I ran to the door and my mom was like, run, because I was on the phone with her. I had called her back when I got back in the room. Mm-hmm. And she was like, leave, run. So I ran out the door and I dropped my bag on the way there because he was behind me and he was just yelling full stream. And I was running down the stairs and I turned the corner and ran and hid by the car because he was still yelling. And I didn't hear him say officer, but I think he did say officer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was talking to the man that had me sit down on the curb. And they was looking for me, but I didn't want to be seen because he was still yelling. And so I kind of just got up
Did
and
you
ran.
see the officer at this point?
No, I didn't see the officer. And I kind of just ran. And then I heard the officer, this officer, I stopped. And he told me to sit down on the curb and talk it out.
Mm-hmm.
And the boyfriend was still kind of yelling, like, why you do this to her? And I was like, I didn't do that to her, I didn't. And he was like, why you do this to her? I was like, I didn't, I promise I didn't do that to her. Because I was outside the whole time, so I didn't know what happened to her. Because I thought she was gone. And that's it. But before I went outside the first time that I thought she was gone, it was a man sitting outside. And I seen this man before. He got dreads. He black, he got dreads, and he kind of tall. Everybody taller than me. But he got probably like 5'6". And this the third time I seen him over there. Last time he asked for her, and I was like, she not here because she be going out of town with basketball. I was like, she not here. And he was like, okay. And the second time I was there alone, he been there every time I was alone. Second time I was there alone, he was like, he knocked on the door and I answered it, and I can't peek through the peephole because I'm so short, but I answered it anyway. And he was just at a rage, like, where's Tina? Where's Tina? I was like, Tina don't live here. Tina don't live here. And he was like, you lying. I was like, Tina don't live here. And he just kind of sort of left. And this time I went out the door, he was kind of sitting in his car, and I knew who he was because I seen him watching that car before. I don't know the name, I don't know the color. It's just everything looked dark to me because it was so dark outside. But he was kind of sitting in the car when I left. That's it.
Who is this mysterious man with dreads? She sounds convincing, but the detectives have heard better lies. They already know that Tina and Shantarika had a volatile relationship. Shantarika often quarreled with Tina over her boyfriend, Casey Anuna, visiting. His presence in their shared space made her uncomfortable. Shantarika felt her privacy was violated when she came out of the shower and Anuna was already present in the room. The dispute was even escalated to management, though Tina frequently missed meditation meetings due to basketball practice. All of this ultimately led to straining their relations even further. It seems to be a motive for Shantarika to murder Tina. Detectives will soon find out the truth. Coming back to the interrogation, what she currently does is exactly what a guilty suspect would do: introduce a mysterious man, perfectly timed, and vanish after the murder. A perfectly crafted defense, but the detectives will tear apart her manipulative narrative by poking holes.
So what do you think happened to Tina?
I don't know if that man went in that room because I did lock the door, and I might should have locked the door.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't lock the door because I didn't have my key. But I don't know if he went in that room, but all I know, I did not kill Tina.
Now, I'm going to be straight with you, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, and Detective Mitchell's going to be straight with you. And I've been doing this for a long time, okay? See, well, I got it cut out, but see all my gray hair? That's what that's from, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, you're at a critical point right now, all right? You're at a fork in the road, okay? And I want to help you choose the right fork. Something bad happened tonight, okay? And you've got some marks on your face. I've been sitting here looking. It looks like your cheek might be a little bit swollen. You definitely got a scratch coming down your eye here. And I'd say if we checked, you probably got some more scratches. Looks like you might have a little scratch right here on your neck, okay? And I think something bad happened, okay? Mm-hmm. Now, like I said, I've been doing this for a long time. I don't think there was some other person, okay? I think what happened was you and Tina got to an argument, got to a physical fight that got a little out of hand. Okay, now listen to me, okay? Remember I talked about those crossroads, mm-hmm. All right? And we want to make sure that you choose the right crossroad because you're not going to have another opportunity. Mm-hmm. If you go down the wrong path, then it's going to end bad for you, mm-hmm. Okay? I don't think there was another person there. All right. I think, like I said, something bad happened while you and Tina were in this fight, in this altercation. And You know, I would like for you and your family and Tina and her family to have closure and to go ahead and put this behind you and to move on. I mean, I wouldn't want to look back tomorrow or the next day or 10 years or 20 or 30 years from now and have this on my conscience. I just wouldn't. Now, you know, it's the time where we can get it out, we can get your story out, we can figure out what happened, and we can put a closure to it for you and your family and for Tina and her family. You guys have known each other for a while, may not have been the best of friends, right? But you guys have known each other for a while. And I don't think this is a case where, I don't think this is a case where you planned to do this. I don't think this is a case where you planned, you know, sat in your room and thought, I'm gonna do this and you know, planned it out and did all this stuff. I think it was one of those things, just like you started out to tell us, where you guys got into an argument, you got into a physical altercation, and I mean, like I said, you got scratches, it's evident you got into some sort of altercation, and something bad happened. You know, it happens to all of us. You know, bad things happen. Sometimes we let our emotions get the best of us, and then we do stuff that we can't take back. But listen to me, okay? I've been here, I've talked to a lot of people at this table. And trust me, you don't want to go home, you don't want to go lay your head down and live with this for the rest of your life, weighing on you. You don't want to. You want to get it out right now. You're a good person, and Tina was a good person. And we need to get the truth out right now so we can deal with it instead of waiting down the road and you having to bear the burden of this. It's going to get to you because, like I said, you're a good person. You're not somebody who goes out here and does this all the time. You're not some kind of gangbanger with no conscience. I can tell by talking to you. But you don't want to start out by saying, hey, there's another person that left the room. It just didn't happen. Like I said, I've been doing this for 15 years. That's a long time. And I'm not here to the bad guy that's sitting like you see on TV. I'm not the bad guy. I'm not here trying to hurt you. I'm believe it or not, down the road you're going to look back and you're going to go, yeah, he was trying to help me. And I'm trying to help you clear your conscience right now so we can give closure to Tina and her family. And most importantly, give closure to you and your family.
It wouldn't take a genius to understand that she is lying through her teeth, mentioning that she left the door open. At once, Tina was about to have her basketball trials that would have kept her scholarship secured for the upcoming months. But Shantarika, the troublemaker for Tina, would often smoke in their shared apartment. Tina feared this would cost her scholarship, especially with the authorities conducting random drug tests. Frustrated, Tina raised the matter to the management and also sent tweets to show her rage and keep it in public record to secure her future and career. What detectives tried to do was implement a minimization technique on Shantarika, hoping she'd crack. In minimization, interrogators downplay the severity of the crime and offer moral justification for suspects. It increases the chances of a confession. Just when Shantarika thinks she is winning at her manipulative game, the detective changes his strategy to be even more aggressive.
Well, now let's start back from this argument. When the courtesy officer left, and you go in, her door's locked, right? You knock on the door. Now tell me, okay, Tina had, I think the paramedics were telling us was that she had like a single stab wound in her chest, okay? Now we need to know how she got that.
Being honest.
No, I don't think you
I
are.
promise I'm being honest. I'm not gonna lie to you because I know I didn't kill Tina.
I don't think you did so on purpose.
Me and Tina got to fighting, and when we fought, I left when she left. I was going to call my mother, but I called my friend first. And I was walking around the parking lot as I was calling you back.
Let's do this. Let's do a little role playing, okay? Now, let's pretend like you're sitting in a courtroom, okay? And in that courtroom, sitting across from you are 12 people, called a jury. And those 12 people are going to decide your fate, okay? Those 12 people will decide whether or not you ever get out of prison, or whether or not when you get out of prison, you're an old lady. They're going to decide whether or not you have any children. They're going to decide whether or not you get to spend your children's birthday with them at a party, or whether or not you get to spend your kid's birthday looking through glass. Okay? Now here's where this becomes important. It becomes important because you're going to put this story. This is the story that you're going to put in front of these 12 people. That me and my roommate got into a physical altercation. I went to her room, knocked on the door. We got into a physical altercation to where I had scratches, my cheeks a little swollen, and I left. And within the time frame of about 10 to 15 minutes, some unknown person came into the apartment and stabbed her. Okay? Do you like those odds? If I'm sitting in your chair, I don't like those odds, because I can guarantee you that those 12 people are going to do the same thing I'm doing. They're not going to believe it. Those 12 people are going to go, no, it don't happen that way. You and your roommate get into this big fight, and then the moment you leave, some unknown person comes in and stabs her. That don't even happen in movies. But that's what you're asking.
That's what I'm telling you, because it's the truth.
Well, I don't believe you.
So you don't have to, but I know I'm telling the truth.
Well,
I'm just
here's the
being
thing.
really honest with you.
No, I don't think you are. I don't think you are.
Even after switching from minimization to maximization, Shantarika continues to deny everything. But detectives can note a significant difference in her tone. The pressure has built successfully. If the detective continues this pressure-building tactic, a confession may be just within reach. During investigations, detectives found that some witnesses saw Shantarika carrying a kitchen knife wrapped in a blanket that she disposed of later in a dumpster. But until her role becomes clear in this crime, this evidence just stays as a bagged item for now. The question remains whether the detective would be able to capitalize on the moment, or would she get away with the murder? As the interrogation unfolds, the detectives begin to expose her insensitive side.
I really what you do. Because I was saying this today, and it's not good. But I'm being honest. From the time I left, from the time I called my mom and my friend and went back to my room, Tina was in her room with me. I didn't think nothing was wrong with Tina. Because when Tina left, Tina seemed fine. I'm the only one that feel like I'm in pain because my eyes are hurting. And I got this stretch that you know right there, and my jaw feels full.
Now you do understand that your roommate is laying over on a cold table at the hospital, right?
Yep.
And you're gonna sit here and complain that your eyes hurting?
Well, my eyes been hurting all day. But I didn't kill my roommate. Me and my roommate might didn't have the best
Who
relationship.
did?
I don't know. But I can give you a description of that male that's been to my apartment more than one time.
I don't think the mail had
That's
anything to
why
do with it.
I hadn't been there. I hadn't been to my
I
apartment.
don't think the mail had anything to do with it.
Yes, it did, sir. I didn't kill her.
When Shantarika realizes that the detectives are closing in on her defense, she makes a desperate attempt to shift the focus to the intruder, a mystery man, nameless, with dreads, who conveniently appears, murders Tina, and then vanishes in the shadows. But there was something even more shocking than the murder of an upcoming star. After the autopsy team revealed the time of death, It was found that minutes after Tina died, text messages were sent from her phone to mislead her boyfriend that she was still alive. The question of who tried to cover up the brutality lingers until the interrogation takes a sharp, unexpected turn.
Okay. Now, after the courtesy officer left and you went to Tina's room, her door was locked, you knocked on the door, what was the conversation that took place?
I basically asked her, I was like, why did you call me? Why you just didn't talk to me? And she was like, well, do you remember the time you went to the office and you didn't talk to me? And I was like, yeah, but you still could have talked to me. I hadn't been here, so I hadn't been a problem to you. And she was like, well, I really don't care. And I kind of turned off and turned around and was going towards my room, but I think I kind of bumped into her, and that's why she shoved me. And when she shoved me, I kind of shoved her back. And then that's when we just started hitting each other.
And then what happened?
And after we hit each other, when she hit me and she put me to the floor, I kind of got up and I was going out the door because she said leave. And I was going to my room. And Nene was getting ready to leave. Nene had already had her stuff and she was going out the door. And so I was like, okay, well, I'll see you when I get back to the campus. Okay. We go on the campus because I think she said she was going to get something to eat. And I was like, okay, I'm going to see you when we get to the campus because Subway still be open all day. And so Tina, she was.
Now, did you ever go back in there?
Into the Tina room?
Okay.
I went back in my room. And Tina, I heard her rumbling, so I guess she was putting on her clothes and stuff and about to leave. But then she had on her jacket, but she didn't have her keys in her hand. And that's why I assumed she wasn't going too far. So, because normally when she do that, she don't go too far. She just go visit somebody's room or something like that.
Okay.
And
so you after this argument, physical altercation. Now, correct me if I did anything wrong. Okay. After this physical altercation, you leave her room, go back into your room. Nene gets her stuff together and leaves. After she leaves, Tina comes out of her room, and Tina leaves. Right? And you're still getting your stuff together.
Yeah, because I still had clothes in the dryer.
You still have clothes in the dryer. You're getting your stuff together. Then at some point in time, you leave.
Yeah, I left.
You ever go back in Tina's room? Okay. So Tina's already gone. Nene's already gone. You leave. Correct? Now, when you go out, you didn't see Tina anywhere.
Oh, I didn't see
Nene's gone.
I didn't see anyone when I left.
Okay.
The first time when I left, when I went out the door, only person I didn't see Tina, I didn't see Nene, was that man.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, well, let's leave the man out of it for right now. Okay. So you go outside, you're on the phone, talking on the phone, you're out there hanging out for a little bit, and then Tina's boyfriend,
he didn't come yet.
All right, he didn't come yet. So then you go back up to the room.
I went back to the room, and I assumed Tina was in her room.
Door's open.
Her door was closed.
No, I'm talking the front door.
No, it was slight open because I had shit it all the way.
Right.
And
it's
I
cracked.
just kind of pushed it open and I shit it.
Okay, so you kind of push it open, and then you go in, you go to Tina's room.
No, I go to my room.
You go to your room.
Yeah, because Tina's room, I assumed that she was, just chilling or gone because her door was closed and her lights was off. All I could hear was her TV because she just turned it down.
Okay. So then, shortly thereafter, her boyfriend comes in.
Yeah, he comes in.
And you're in your room. Okay, so he goes in the...
No, I'm not in my room.
Okay.
I'm sitting in the kitchen because I still had clothes that I was trying to put in the bed.
So you're sitting in the kitchen. He then goes into...
He just come in.
Right.
I didn't lock it, I just shit.
Right, he just walks in. He then goes into Tina's room. Okay.
I stopped and I was like, she not here because when I left, she had left before me. So I was like, she not here because I thought she was dead gone. And he was just kind of like, okay. And he turned back around. And I had my bag. And he walked like this. And we met up like this. And he just walked up to her room and opened the door. And he kind of left it cracked. Because I was walking back to my room to make sure I got everything. And I could see him when he bent down. And he just started streaming. He was like, why you did this to her? Why you do this to her? And I was like, do what? Do what? And I just
kind
of
looked at her. Where are you at this time?
I'm right there in the doorway because he still hadn't cracked, so I was just kind of looking.
Were you in the room?
Yeah, I had kind of pushed the door open so I could see what he was talking about.
Right.
And I seen her on the floor, and he was like, you did this to her, you did this to her. I was like, I didn't do nothing to her. And so he started chasing me, and I ran to the door, opened the door, and I dropped my bag.
Yeah, now did he ever touch you or anything?
No, he was just running, like, he was like, come here, and I just kept running.
He never touched you, okay. All right. Right now, tonight, we need to get everything out on the table, and we need to make our wrongs right. Now, if that means we have to go to jail for a little while, that's what we have to do. But I'd much rather be able to decide my fate than to put a lie out there and have someone else decide my fate for me. Now, do you want to go back over what happened?
Yes.
Okay.
After he left, I went back upstairs, like I told you. And I knocked on the door, and I said I had my hand on the dog. And when she unlocked it, we just argued right after that. The door was open, so Nene sat in the room and she watched TV. And she texted because she was on the phone. And Tina, when we talked about whatever it was, I turned around and was headed to my room, and I think I kind of bumped into her, and she was like, "Don't bump into me." And she shoved me, and I shoved her back. And she had a knife sitting, I think it was on the bed. Because I don't know what she was doing. I think she was cutting something, I don't know. But she had a knife sitting on the bed, and when we was fighting, I kept saying, that hurt, because my head started paining real bad because of the eye problem I'm having, and it's been hurting all week. And I grabbed that knife after, because she still had my head down, and she was pounding me on the head, and I grabbed the knife and just kind of went like this, because when she was coming towards me, I kind of went like this, and I just held it and let it up, and she fell. And Nene, through this whole process, she had the door shut, and she still got up and she left. She was like, "I don't know what just happened, but I'm not trying to be in it," and she left. And I came back in my room, and I got through with my clothes. I put my clothes in the dryer because I just took them out the washing machine before the police showed up. And then I just shut her door, and I was like, do I need to call the police? Do I need to call the police? Do I need to find a number that the man gave me? I need to call him. I didn't mean for this to happen. And I didn't want to cry, but I called my friend, and I told her to come get me, and I didn't want to tell her the whole story. I just wanted to keep it at a minimum and just wait. If something happened like this, I was just going to come and tell it. And Tina, she wasn't moving, she was just sitting there. And I just shut her door and turned off her light. And I went outside. I did walk around the parking lot. And I went outside, and I called my friend, and I called my mom. And I went back upstairs, and her boyfriend, he just busted through the door, through the front door, like he just stayed there. And I just kind of looked at him, and I was like, well, she's not here. And I just told him that so he wouldn't be worried. And so he kind of turned around, and he went back, opened the door, and turned on her light, and the door was cracked, and I seen him bend down. And I went back, I was in my room. I was going towards my room when my door was open. And he kind of bent down and rolled her over, and he started yelling. And I had my bag on my shoulder, so I was running out the door because he was just yelling at me like he wanted to strangle me or something. And I just ran out because I got scared. And I was in the process of calling, trying to find the campus police number instead of dialing 911. But he just scared me when he did that. And I just ran around the thing. And I bent down behind the car, and I still could hear him yelling, but I didn't know if he was saying police or if he was saying he gonna call the police. And I kind of got up when I seen him come past that car that I was beside, and I ran forward, and then that's when I heard the police say something. And that's when I stopped because I knew it was police.
Okay. Well, that felt better. Get that. You don't want to carry that around with you, do you?
Shantarika finally cracks under pressure, confessing the stabbing to be an accident. All the lies that she mounted in her defense finally fell apart as the detectives built psychological pressure. From minimization to maximization and limiting options, all techniques worked flawlessly, which led to her confess to the crime. But the most shocking part that remained hidden was that Shantarika attempted to clean up the evidence, hiding the murder weapon, the knife, in a garbage bag to conceal her involvement. She was the one who sent misleading texts from Tina's phone to appear if she were still alive, instead of calling 911. These added 4 additional years to her sentence. If Tina had chosen to change her room, would the outcomes have been different? And if management had taken the matter even more seriously, could they have stopped this murder? Shantarika Madden was finally arrested on the night of March 2, 2011. She was sentenced to 29 years in prison for the fatal stabbing of Tina Stewart. On July 17, 2012, Judge Don Ash handed down the sentence of 25 years for second-degree murder and an additional 4 years for tampering with evidence, leaving Shantarika with no chance of release. 29 years behind bars.
How? There's bullet holes in the car.
You remember I told you Mike was standing up on the car like this, and Cameron was like, he was standing in front of him right there, and he just started shooting, boom, boom, boom.
This is how 18-year-old Michael Mitchell Jr. thinks he's going to outsmart the detectives. As Mitchell explains how his friend, Michael Robinson, was shot by Cameron Paw, he fails to realize the chilling irony. He was the one found with the body.
Yep. Put your hands up. Put your hands up.
To make matters worse, detectives had one piece of evidence Mitchell never anticipated, and what came next was a brutal reality check.
I've got videos of you with a gun, with a Ruger, with an extended clip, that you said he got shot with, that your cousin said that you only had 6 bullets in, which is exactly how many went into this guy's stomach before he got shot in the face.
As Mitchell makes numerous attempts to outsmart the detectives, the question remains, will they manage to uncover the full truth, or will he outplay them as the ultimate manipulator? It all started on July 29, 2020, around 5 p.m., when Louisiana State Police pulled over a speeding car on Highway 17 in Franklin Parish. The vehicle had visible bullet holes, and the strong odor of marijuana only added to the suspicion. And behind the wheel was Michael Mitchell Jr.
You've admitted there's a small amount of in the car, and I've smelled it. It's probable cause. Can I take a look in your car? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So when I kept asking you where you live, you don't even know because this ain't even your house. You better get some act right in you and stop lying to me, or I swear to God you're fixing to go to jail. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
That's the last freaking lie you better tell me. What's your last name?
Mitchell.
What's this Robinson last name? Michael Robinson. That's your brother.
Mitchell tried to play it cool, claiming Michael was just his brother who'd let him use the car. But that story immediately fell apart when detectives popped the trunk.
I'm gonna do the obvious thing I want to do. Hey. Yep. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your hands up. Put your hand behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
With that, Mitchell was arrested and brought in for questioning. And that's when he decided to audition for the role of Worst Liar of the Year.
So basically, my friends wanted to set Michael because they know he was loaded, like he had money and stuff like that. So they hit me up. He was like, hey, yo, think with Mike. All you gotta do is y'all can smoke together, and then when he drop you off, I'll handle it from there. So, I just, one thing I love it, so we smoked a little bit. After that, we was like coming down the street, kind of like by my house. And after that, that's when one of my homeboy, he was around the corner, and he was like,
he was like talking to Mike, like, yeah, like trying to make him feel comfortable or whatever. Like trying to be cool with him. And after that, he ended up like talking Mike out of the car, and at this point, like Mike, he on the door and the car, like he just leaning up right there. Mm-hmm. After that, shots just came out, boom, boom, boom. Mike hit the ground. He was holding his stomach. He was like, bro, you shot me in my stomach. After that, he ran to the car because he knew Mike had a gun too. He went in there, grabbed Mike's gun. Mike was on the ground. He just did it to him, and that was it.
He did what to him?
He shot him in the head.
Okay.
After that, he was like, pop the trunk, bro, hurry up, pop the trunk. Pop the trunk. I just grabbed his legs, threw him in there. And after that, he took the car and off. Like, he took the car with the body and I was gone. I was at home. So this morning he came and dropped the car over. He wanted me to get rid of everything. Like dump the car, black light, all that together. And I was scared too. Like I was scared he was gonna do the same to me if I didn't do what he said.
Mitchell paints the whole thing as a robbery gone wrong, tossing all the blame on his homeboy Cameron Powell, who was apparently the evil genius of the operation. But Mitchell doesn't stop at just pointing fingers. Now, he's suddenly the terrified kid who didn't sign up for any of this. Caught with a body in the trunk, he's clinging to the only strategy he's got left. Play the scared teen card and hope it's enough to dodge a murder charge.
When you said that your homeboys were going to set him up, set Mike up, who all is that? Yeah, what man, you doing right?
It was a few people, but it was only one person. It was only one person that pulled. Like he.
Let's start with him, okay?
Cam.
Henry.
Mm-hmm.
What's Cameron's last name? About how old is Cameron? Okay. All right. And what did he say to you when he called, or when y'all were together, or whatever, about setting Mike up?
He was like, hey, bro. You know Mike love this stuff. All I need you to do is just, he wanted me to just like get him high or whatever. And then he just took over the rest. And that's all he wanted me to do.
Alright, so we got Cameron. He was the shooter, right? What did he shoot him with?
He had a charge 9.
How do you know that?
Like I saw, it was like a charge 9, he had a extended clip.
Okay. Alright, who else all was there?
Nobody really.
Come on, man. You already told me that a few people were there. You're doing really good, okay? You're doing the best thing you can do to help yourself. I hate to see you just give me a little and then hold out a little, because then I don't know if you're telling the truth or not. Does that make sense? I believe you. I can see. I can see that you're telling the truth, but let's just go ahead and tell the whole story.
I was with my cousin. He was at my house with me.
Who's your son?
He was just chilling with me. He was a Smiley.
Who?
Smiley.
What was his role in this deal?
He really didn't have a role. He was just like, he was just at my house with me chilling.
Yeah.
And after that, he was like, I wouldn't say he was a driver, because he wasn't. Like, he was just in his own car. And Cameron was in the car with him. So when we had hit the street, they was already parked by my house, because they was smoking. So they was just outside smoking, kind of by my house.
If Mitchell's lying and the detectives suspect he is, then every new name he drops just digs the hole he's in even deeper. The detectives can sense that something is off, so they shift gears and try to earn his trust in the hopes of a slip-up. And Mitchell, who's just 18, starts to let his guard down. But sticking to a single story is going to be the real challenge for him.
What time do you think the shooting happened? I want to say around 3 or 4, maybe. Because it was still pretty dark.
Yeah. Alright. So what happened after it? Did you just walk home from there, or you drove the car?
No, I didn't drive the car after the shooting. After I helped him put the body in the trunk, he took the car, he drove off. He took the spare tire out the trunk to put Mike in the trunk.
Where did you put the spare tire?
I let him know to do, because I remember seeing him put it in the front seat. So he can because I guess it won't fit in the back seat or whatever, so he just put it in the front seat, and he hurried up and drove off.
Yeah. Did he tell you where he was going last night?
No, he said.
Yeah, where do you live?
I don't know the exact house. I know it's Dolly Lane, but
okay.
If I can get my phone, though, I can pull up the house and
we can get that.
It was about 11 something. I was still sleeping. He woke me up and called me. He was like, "Hey, I need you to go take this car and take this body to me." I'm like, "What you mean? What you want me to do with it?" He was like, "Get rid of it." And he was sounding aggressive. So I ain't want to just get into no altercation with him, because I ain't want to end up like Mike. Because he obviously, he had no feeling when he did it, I guess, because I don't know.
Accident.
He dropped the car off with the keys, and I had...
At your house, or
he was
plan to meet somewhere?
And we met kind of by my house, but not quite at my house. And after this, I told my mom, I was like, "I'm about to go, I'm going to be gone for a little while." She was like, "Alright." And that's when I left. And I first I went to Tallulah. Then Dale came through Lansboro. And then that's when I got stopped. But he had gave me a spot to go. He told me where I can go trash the stuff in it. So that's what I was really on my way to.
What was that?
I got I don't know the specific address. He just sent it to my phone, and I just put it in, tap it to get direction to it, and just come up.
Okay. What was your plan when you got there?
I was just gonna leave. I was gonna get out the car, leave the car there, and I was gonna try to get a ride back tomorrow, and just try to leave it there.
Right now, Mitchell has a whole story laid out, and it's mostly clear, but with some glaring holes. Blaming someone else this early is risky, as once that person gets questioned, the cracks tend to show. It's still unclear if Mitchell is lying, but one thing doesn't add up. If this was just a robbery, why go straight to murder? Why not wear masks and take what you can like any typical stick-up? That's what makes this story feel shaky, and it's exactly why the detectives need to pull it apart, piece by piece. And for that, they first need to send a team to find Cameron's whereabouts.
Cameron, he wanted me to leave the car in the body. He wanted me to dump.
Okay. Did you ever let Cameron know that you got stopped? Do you think he knows by now that you got stopped? Was he expecting you to let him know when you were done, or was he supposed to come pick you up?
He blocked me on everything. He was stressing it so hard that we deleted everything that we sent back and forth. So, as of right now, he got me blocked, so I can't contact him.
How are you going to get picked up? Yeah. How are you going to get back to Monroe?
I'll go call my girlfriend. She was going to bring me up.
Okay. Well, this doesn't have anything to do with anything, but who's your dad?
My dad.
What's he do for a living?
He's a mayor.
Up Richwood?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. Have you talked to him?
I haven't talked to him, but
Do you live in his house? Okay. And what's your mom's name? And she knew that you were leaving?
mm-hmm.
Okay. Tell me about the shooting. Just a little bit more. You're doing good.
Let's try to focus on the location, exactly where it happened.
I'm not real familiar with Richwood.
I have to show y'all like exactly where it was
As Mitchell points out the location where he claimed he planned to leave the body, the investigation into Cameron Pa was quietly unfolding in the background. But now that some time has passed, detectives are circling back to Mitchell's story, ready to see if anything slips, shifts, or suddenly doesn't line up.
And then how there's bullet holes in the car?
Because you remember I told you Mike was standing up on the car like this, and Cameron was like, he was standing in front of him right there, and he just started shooting, boom, boom, boom. Mike hit the ground, he was holding his stomach, he was like, bro, you shot me in my stomach. After that, he stood over Mike and shot him in the head. And he wanted me to hurry up and help him put the body in the trunk and all this so he can spare him.
Yeah. He didn't tell you where he was going? About how many times you think you shot him? You say it the same every time, but you shot him in the stomach at the very first. Do you remember?
It was a few. It wasn't like one or two, it was like 5 or 6 maybe. But I don't think the clip he had was 4. Cause he stopped shooting at one point he went to go get Mike's gun out the car. And he used Mike's gun to finish him off.
He shot Mike in the head with the gun that he got out of the car?
With Mike's gun.
So he shot him with 2 guns, is what you're telling me?
With 2 guns.
Okay. So what else was in the car that he took out?
I think that was it.
Now, you remember just a minute ago how when you started telling me the story, your whole body changed because you're finally getting off your chest what's been in there all day, right? So go ahead and give me the rest of it. All right. Tell me what all was in the car that he took out.
Yeah.
I can see you want to tell me. Yeah.
I don't know. I think he probably could have had some more weed in there maybe. But like I wasn't just really aware of what all he had in his car. Cause we was just smoking together, so I wasn't really scoping the scene or nothing.
Yeah.
I was just doing my part to smoke with him.
Yeah. Where was your cousin Smiley at?
He had his car parked right at the
where you said it?
Yeah. And Cameron got out of his car. He got out of my cousin's car and walked to the around the corner. And he met us right there.
What's your cousin drive?
It was kind of like the Jeep that looked like a box.
Yeah.
We got a shoot.
Cameron? Where's Cameron live?
He stayed not too far from me.
Could you show us on the map?
When Mitchell first told his story, he claimed that after firing a few shots, Cameron panicked and hid, supposedly because Michael had a gun too. But this time around, the part where Mitchell described Cameron trying to hide totally vanished. Instead, Mitchell now says Cameron had taken his gun and finished the job. It might seem like a small detail, but in cases like this, it's the little inconsistencies that flip everything. And very soon, the truth behind the whole story is about to be revealed.
I'm Kevin Cobb, I'm the sheriff here. Okay. What I'd like to ask you is, you're 100% that's Michael Robinson in the trunk of that car?
Yes, sir.
Right? You know him, he's a friend of yours?
Yes, sir.
You know him, and you know that's who that is?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have we shown him a picture of Michael Robinson?
No, this is not Michael Robinson.
Hold on 1 second.
Do you have a picture of Michael Robinson in your phone? You want him to show us a picture of him?
Sure.
Listen, I'm gonna let you put your passcode in. Don't call anybody, don't text anybody, and don't try to crash your phone. Okay? You're just pulling up his Facebook? Okay. So that's his car in the background there? That's just pulling up his Facebook page. Which is also his.
I'm gonna get one picture for him, okay? I'm gonna get the 20 just for my deal. Just because his appearance has changed.
Okay, put it back on airplane mode. Who is that?
Yes, Cameron. He just got a little bit more hair, but this him right though.
He's got a little bit more hair now, or he's got a little bit more hair in this picture than he does now?
He got a little bit more right now than he do in this picture.
The first round of interrogation wrapped up, and while that unfolded, investigators ran checks on Cameron Pa. Later that same day, Cameron was arrested in connection with the murder of Michael Robinson Jr. Both he and Mitchell were charged with second-degree murder. But that's when things took an unexpected turn. When detectives double-checked Cameron's alibi, it held up. So once again, Mitchell was brought back in, and this time, he was about to face the full weight of the truth. Before we dive into the next interrogation, a quick heads up. Only audio from this section is available, but what you're about to hear is the shocking truth behind this disturbing murder.
How am I going to prove that one was even there? 2, that he shot him. Right now, the only person I got is you. You were driving the car. You have the opportunity because you've got the guns, right? I've got videos of you with a gun, with a Ruger, with an extended clip that you said he got shot with, that your cousin said that you only had 6 bullets in, which is exactly how many went into this guy's stomach before he got shot in the face. Everything just points to you. And nothing points to Cameron. He's going to be a free man shortly. And you're going to be in here for first-degree murder because you did all this by yourself with no help.
Smiley didn't see me with a gun. He didn't. I'm telling you, I did not get in Smiley's car with the gun. I got in his car with myself, and I had my weed and the reloads to roll up with. So after that, I told him like I was gonna go with Mike, and at that point he went and got gas, and he went and picked Cameron up. Because when we was there at first, Cameron was not with us. So when he left to go get gas and handle his business or whatever. Cameron was back with him.
How does he know Cameron?
He know Cameron through me.
Has he ever been around you before?
Smiley, that was his first time being around him. Yeah, after that.
Okay, so let's stop. Smiley, he left you. Did you give him instructions to go do something? Go pick somebody up?
No.
So he was riding around, going to get gas, and how did he wind up with Cameron?
I did tell him to go pick Cameron up.
See, this is what I'm talking about. This is the stuff you can't mess up on.
The tables have turned, and Mitchell's lies are not holding up anymore. With every step, he isn't walking toward freedom. He's marching straight toward a prison cell. And things are only going to get worse.
Where did Cam go?
Where'd Cam go? You told me that Cam left in the car.
That's what I said. Y'all trying to make me. Y'all trying to switch me up. I'm saying I know what I told y'all. I'm saying Cam left in the car. At the point Smiley came around the corner, Cam was already gone.
With the dead guy in the trunk.
Yes.
Come on now. Let's stop. So I'm not trying to cross you up. Here's what I'm trying to do. All of this whole story has to go into a report that I have to write.
I understand.
Right. So when I send this thing up the chain and I say, hey, Michael Mitchell didn't shoot this guy. He helped set him up. He needs his legs switched, but he didn't pull the trigger. Right?
Yes, sir.
Because that's what you want my report to say, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, to do that, I have to have all of my facts straight. But let me tell you what. Right now, I've got it on 2 recordings. Okay? I got one that says, Smiley was around the corner. He never saw me after the shooting. Me and Cam loaded the body up, and then Cam left in the car. Alright? Then I got Smiley saying, we heard the shooting, we drove around the corner, there was Michael Mitchell, no Cam. And you say, Cam was gone already. And then I got another story, just now, that me and Cam loaded up the body, he jumps in the car and leaves, and now you're just standing there?
Now look, Smiley has nothing to lose. Well, he has a lot to lose, but he's not involved. So he told us a story that makes sense, that's understandable.
Your story's the one it's not jiving. And here's why I think that, okay? I think that you're telling us a ton of truth. Like 95% of what you're saying is true. But 5%, you're trying to keep a homeboy out of a pinch, or maybe not quite sound so bad.
I'm just trying to I'm just trying to keep them out the way because they didn't.
But you can't keep them out of the way. Let me keep them out of the way. Let me do my job.
I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna keep them out of the way. Have I put anybody else in jail?
Mitchell still tries to play the part, acting like he cares about his homeboys. But the truth is that he's thrown both his cousin Smiley and Cameron under the bus from the very beginning. And there's a reason for that. He and Cameron had bad blood, a dispute that left Mitchell holding a grudge. So when the time came, Cameron became the perfect scapegoat. But with his story full of holes, Mitchell had no way out anymore. Finally, the district attorney dismissed Cameron Paw's charge and he was set free. On the other hand, Mitchell was scheduled to stand trial on August 29, 2022. It is to be noted that some sources suggest that he got a 25-year sentence, but these details could not be independently verified through official court records or reputable news outlets. Therefore, the precise sentencing information remains unconfirmed.
I look back, just stomping on it. And I told him to stop. I literally told him to stop. I was just trying to get him out of my way.
When officers rushed to the parking lot on East Mission Avenue, they found 65-year-old Jamie Weathers clinging to life. His injuries so severe that even seasoned responders froze for a moment. What they did not know then was that this was not the first time Jamie had been targeted that day. Earlier, he had already been robbed and harassed, an incident that left him disoriented, distressed, and struggling with his already fragile mental state. As detectives pulled surveillance footage, 2 figures emerged clearly as the attackers. Witnesses pointed police toward a nearby shelter, and by August 10th, both suspects were in custody. But as detectives began their interrogation, Jamie lay in a hospital bed, fighting for his life, and what they were about to uncover would change everything.
Hi there. Can you grab one more chair? Your cue? Okay. Quentin's your name? I'm Detective Presto with the police department. You okay with everything here? Yeah. Okay. You got something to drink?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, obviously, we're in the police station here, so this room is recorded with audio and video and that. Just make sure you're aware of that. There are some things that are going on I'd like to talk to you about. Because of the fact you're brought here in a police car, I'm required to read your rights to you. Just, part of policy and that. Can you tell me why you're here?
No, they said it was an assault, but I don't remember an assault.
Okay. Well, a lot of other people do, and it's all recorded on video as well. So, we've got a couple hurdles to overcome here. How can we help you remember? Because you seem like a pretty calm, reasonable person. And so it makes me think that something may have happened to change that. Did this happen for no reason at all?
No.
Okay.
If I ever did anything, it was obviously for a reason. I don't do things like that.
Yeah.
Like anything myself or my significant other.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't portray me as a person that would just do something for no reason. Can you tell me what the reason was?
This man was, he was at a bus stop close to the shelter, and there was there was an older female and a young female there in the same shelter as me, and they told me that he was doing that, and then, I seen him in front of Jack's, and Justin was next to him, and
how do you know it was him?
Because everybody told me it was him. The two young females who were there told me it was him. Justin told me it was him. And then
did Justin see him?
Yeah.
You saw him?
He said he did.
He said he did. Okay. And the other two females pointed him out specifically, saying
specifically.
Okay.
And then I started talking to him, and he said he was going to stab my girl. And my girl was standing right next to me, and he lunged towards my girl. I hit him with my board as defense, and he dropped. And as soon as he dropped, he just got knocked out. He wasn't bleeding. There was nothing. He just dropped because he was already high. Like, you could tell he had just done something. He was high.
Okay.
And I started walking away, and I looked back, and somebody else was on him and hitting him, and I told him to stop, and I just kept walking towards the shelter, and I went back to the shelter.
What Quentin said was far from the truth. According to witness testimony, Jamie Weathers had been robbed by a group earlier that day, and some sources suggested he may have been mentally challenged. But Quentin's timeline didn't match Justin's version of events at all, and when detectives turned their attention to Justin, what he revealed would push this case into even darker territory.
With these rights in mind, do you want to answer my questions?
What question?
Well, this about what happened that night. The information that you know.
I can give you the information I know.
Okay. So you're willing to talk to me? You know this. Okay.
I just want to get out here because I don't like cops, I don't like detectives. I've had a bad history with them.
Okay, that's understandable. Well, what can you tell me?
Well, one of our friends came over to tell us that there was some guy off by the bus stop with his pants halfway down. I told my brother,
this.
I don't know his name.
Who's the friend that told you this?
Devin.
Devin? Okay. What does Devin look like?
I do not give descriptions very well.
Okay. Okay. So Devin came up to you?
Yes.
So where were you at?
I was at Yaz.
Yep.
Yaz, the young adult youth shelter.
Okay.
I was showing there. Devin came up and told us what was going on. I gave my friends a heads up, and after that, I don't know what happened.
What do you mean you gave your friends a heads up?
I gave one of my closest friends a heads up on what was happening. I went inside to do my own thing, and he disappeared.
Okay, what friend is this?
I can't give a name.
What is that?
Classified.
Classified, okay. Okay, then what happened?
I don't know. I went, charged my phone, charged my headphones I have on right now, and I went to bed.
Okay. Okay. And why is the information classified?
Because that's for me to know.
It's for you to know?
Yes.
Okay. Well, what happened?
I don't know.
When detectives pressed him for the timeline, the teenager tried to bluff his way through, claiming the time was classified, as if he were an undercover agent instead of a kid who couldn't keep his own story straight. What he didn't know was that detectives already had the full picture. In the early hours of August 7, 2023, surveillance cameras had captured the first incident. An unidentified man struck 65-year-old Jamie Weathers, sending him crashing to the pavement. Miraculously, Jamie managed to stand and walk away. But detectives knew that wasn't the attack that put him on life support. That wasn't the moment that changed everything. And as they sat across from this nervous teenager, it became clear he wasn't just lying. He was hiding something much bigger, something darker.
You're aware that there's video up there, right?
Yes.
Okay. And that we reviewed that video?
I was showing you that, yes.
Okay. Well, the problem is you can't be in two places at the same time, right?
I didn't have my shoes on at the time.
Didn't have your shoes on at the time? What does that mean?
I know you guys have evidence, and I know that there's video of it, and I didn't have my shoes on when I went to bed. Somebody could have put them on.
Somebody else put your shoes on?
Might have, I don't know.
The shoes you're wearing right now?
Yes.
Okay. The biggest problem is we've talked to several people already, and we've reviewed the video.
Okay.
And so we know what you're telling us isn't the truth.
I was chilling that, guys, like I told you. I'm telling you the truth.
I don't disbelieve you, because we have video of you inside there, and we have your name on a roster. That's not being disputed at all.
Okay.
You understand that?
Yeah.
And I'm not sure what your part in this whole thing is, but I think we're kind of making a bigger deal of this than what you think.
He was outside the bus stop. What don't you understand about that?
What's the problem with that?
With his pants off.
Okay.
Wagging where people can see him.
Okay. Do you know where this bus stop was?
Yes, it's near the bank near Jack's.
Okay. Like right in front of the bank?
The bus stop next. He was
in the grass next to the bus stop?
Mm-hmm. And I know the house next to that bus stop has cameras. I have seen cameras all around the place.
Okay. And you saw him at the bus stop?
I didn't. Devin did.
Devin did? Okay. And Devin told you?
Yes.
Okay. But you understand that if the video is contradicting what you're saying,
you go with the video instead.
Exactly. What can we do to resolve this situation?
I'm not trying to go to jail.
Okay. I understand nobody wants to.
I didn't do anything.
But people get caught up in all sorts of situations. Things kind of get out of hand. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
After realizing detectives were ahead of him, he began distancing himself from the crime, offering vague excuses. However, while he tried to shift the blame, the real struggle was unfolding elsewhere. At the hospital, Jamie Weathers remained in critical condition, fighting for his life. His condition changed little over the next few days, and as doctors monitored him closely, detectives tightened their focus, narrowing down suspects and gathering evidence as the pressure to uncover the full truth grew heavier by the hour.
And obviously there was a reason behind why this happened, otherwise it wouldn't have happened, right?
Yeah.
So, and we can't go back in time and undo stuff. All we can do is move forward. You know, sometimes when we make bad decisions, we'll make another bad decision, try and counteract that. The problem is things get worse, and we make another bad decision to counteract those two bad decisions, and it gets worse. And
all I do is hang on my friends, chill, and relax. That's all I do.
I understand that.
My friends are like family.
I understand that.
I hope you do.
We kind of need to get past this point. We need to start making good decisions.
That's what I've been trying to do my whole life. Look where I'm at. You guys don't understand it. What it's like living on the streets.
Well, tell me about it.
Trying to get through life. It's a struggle. It's hard. People still get every day. I recently got my backpack stolen. There's people down Riverfront getting their stolen too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard about it. And I'm going to start looking into some stuff. But right now, we need to kind of focus on this situation. And we're not saying that you're a bad person, but you made a bad decision.
I didn't make no bad decisions.
This isn't going to go away by saying that you were just inside. You understand that?
Yeah.
It's not going to go away. We've already spoken to most people that were there. That's why we're at this point. That'll all be in the report.
I want to know who.
Okay. Well, I'd like to know who you told about the guy at the bus stop.
My brother Q.
Okay.
He went to go deal with it.
You pretty tight with your brother?
Yes. I'm really tight with my brother.
And you let him go out by himself to deal with it?
Not always.
Mm-hmm. How long have you known Q?
For about a year and a half now.
Year and a half?
Ever since I became homeless.
How did that happen?
Biological family over.
Sorry to hear about that.
Moved out here just a little bit then. Be over. That's why I'm at.
And now you got a street family. And living on the streets is hard.
It is.
You know, that guy was living on the streets too, right? He was making some bad decisions. Right?
No.
He was. It's not a good decision to do what he was doing. Right? You just go volley.
Detectives tried a minimization technique on Justin, reassuring him with lines like, "You're not a bad person," hoping he would finally open up and tell the truth. But the real breakthrough didn't come from him. It came from his so-called brother, Quentin, known as Q. And what Q revealed made everything even worse.
So then what happened after you hit him? You hit him in the head?
In the head. He stumbled and I think he fell. And I just started walking away. And I looked back and somebody else was hitting him. I couldn't tell who it was, but someone was hitting him. And I told them to stop, and I just kept walking.
How were they hitting him?
They were kicking him.
Kicking him?
Yeah.
Okay. And I sense a little hesitancy about this individual. Because you know who this individual is. Right?
Not really.
We got it on video.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, I hit him one time and he fell. And he had no blood, he had nothing. He just fell and he was getting back up. And I started walking because that's all I was trying to do. I wasn't trying to hurt somebody. I wasn't trying to hurt him. I was just trying to get him out of my way and teach him a lesson. Like, I wasn't even trying. It wasn't my responsibility to do that. It wasn't my job.
Mm-hmm.
And I shouldn't have done that. But I look back, just stomping on him. And I told him to stop. It wasn't, I didn't tell him to do that. I literally told him to stop.
Mm-hmm.
And I started walking, and I don't know if he stopped. I don't know when he stopped. I don't know when he started following me. I just went back to the shelter. Because I wasn't trying to do that. Like, I only wanted to hit him once. I didn't even want to hit him with my board. I was going to hit him with my hands if I didn't even have my board in my hand. It was instinct.
Yet again, detectives weren't satisfied with Quentin's version. According to witness reports, Jamie hadn't done anything to deserve some so-called lesson from kids half his age. In fact, testimony suggested Jamie was already in distress that day, possibly struggling with mental health issues and still shaken from being robbed earlier. With so much information in hand, detectives now needed to understand Justin's role in all of this. And Quentin, his self-proclaimed brother, didn't disappoint. What he revealed next only pushed the case further into the dark.
What part of the board did he get hit with?
The wheels, because I didn't want to hurt him. I just wanted to, I didn't even know it would knock him down.
Okay, so the wheels
are just rubber.
Don't hurt as much if you get hit with that.
No, I've gotten hit in the face with a board before. And I wasn't trying to hurt him. I was literally just trying to get him out of that face. I was just trying to go to sleep.
Just trying to go to sleep?
And all this shit was just everybody was just telling me, and I felt like I was pressured to do something.
Where were you at when they were telling you this?
Coming up to yes, before Jax, they were telling me over in Chief Gary Park, because we were just sitting there in our own shop.
Okay.
I just grabbed the guy and they were telling me about it. And then
so you were in Chief Gary Park and they told you about it, these two females?
Yeah, and Jess and I don't know who else was there, but there's a couple of people that told me about it.
Okay. So did you leave Chief Gary Park and
then
go look for him?
No, I didn't even look for him at all.
Okay.
I just brushed it off. I'm like, well, let's. And I started walking towards the shelter, and on my way to the shelter, I see Justin. He's like, look at this guy. This is the guy who's up. And just started egging it on, I guess. And yeah. And then I stepped up to the guy and I asked him if he was one. And I guess I called him a pedophile. And then he started looking towards my curls and muttered something that sounded like I'm. And I hit him with my board. Yeah.
Okay. And then what happened?
I went back to the shelter.
And Justin was stomping on him and you told him to stop?
Yeah.
Then what happened?
I literally told him to stop, and then I just turned around and started walking back towards the shelter. I skated back to the shelter. I didn't know when he stopped. I got back to the shelter and just me and my girls went to sleep.
Okay.
It was now clear who delivered the final blow in this horrific attack, but to make everything precise and leave no room for doubt, detectives laid out their strongest piece of evidence.
Well, you know that there's audio also on the cameras, right? Did you know that, or?
I didn't know that, but
okay.
It's good to hear.
Okay. So, a lot of what you're saying totally matches up with the video, and a lot of what you're saying totally matches up with what other people are telling us. But not everything is matching up. Because like I said, there's audio on there as well, right?
Yeah.
What did you say to the guy?
I asked him if he was the one that was the bus stop. I asked him if he was the one who was acting like. And he said, he nodded and shook his head at first. And I kept asking him, and he just smiled at me and stared at me. And then he looked at my girl, and he muttered something like, I'm gonna stab you, and started moving towards my girl, and I just hit him, and I didn't mean to. I hit him.
Okay. Did he have anything in his hands?
No. I mean, he looked like he was reaching towards, I didn't know. I've literally just been attacked on the street. Me and my female have been attacked on the street before by a brain.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't look like he had anything in his hands. He looked like he was going to reach for something.
He looked like he was going to reach for something.
He was reaching towards his pants. And he was just walking towards her like he was going to do something.
Do you think the video shows that?
It should show that.
But do you think it does?
Yeah.
You think it does?
I think it shows him looking towards my girl and then
looking towards your girl?
Turning towards her and then starting to move towards her, and then I hit him before.
Where was she at the time?
Next to me.
Next to you?
And I told her to start walking.
On the audio, you can hear you calling him. Is that what you were calling him?
Yeah.
Okay. Why were you calling him?
Because he had been right. I didn't know how old the girls were. I seen a younger one, I seen an older one. I know the older one was definitely over 18.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how old the other one was.
And they both these girls stay at the shelter there that you stay at?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the requirements to get into that shelter? Do you have to be a certain age?
Yeah, you can't be older than 24.
Can't be older than 24?
Yeah.
Can you be younger than 18 to go in there? Do they allow juveniles in there with adults?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Did you see police cars and firefighters and paramedics show up afterwards?
No.
Oh, a lot of people saw the lights. I'm just asking.
Well, how bad was it? How did he get hurt?
I don't know. I haven't seen him.
What?
I haven't seen him.
Why was there an ambulance for him? He's literally... What the... I didn't know. Paramedics even showed up. I just thought he literally got up and walked away.
Did you see him get up and walk away?
No, Justin was there when I left. Justin was still there, and I just left.
Anybody else say anything after that?
No. Nobody really said anything. Nobody talked about it. Like, nobody even told me that there was paramedics.
I wasn't even the one that did the force blows.
Okay, well tell me about that.
I can't.
Why is that?
I don't see something.
Okay. What were the worst blows?
Getting truck by the board.
What's that?
Getting truck.
Truck?
Mm-hmm. It's when you hit a person upside the head with trucks.
And are trucks the
part,
the axle of the... Okay. That would hurt.
It does hurt.
Okay. And you didn't do the worst part. You didn't do the truck. Okay. So what part did you do?
I'm sorry.
Why not?
Because you guys already have it on video.
Okay. So if we have it on video, why are you denying it?
Because I'm not trying to go to jail. I'm too young to go to jail. I don't want to be their hand.
Okay. Well, explain it to me then, how we got to this point.
My sister that came up to me and was like, hey, there's this guy at the bus. We were going to Jackson, something to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Then another guy came up and was like, hey, this guy at the bus stop was walking me off. That's two people telling us. And my brother saw it too. And we went up to go see what it was.
Your brother Q?
Yes.
You saw it? Okay.
And we went up after that. Me, him, and my family went to go see what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't there. So
who wasn't there?
The guy.
Oh, okay.
So we left it alone. We went back.
Mm-hmm.
And then we went on a walk to go out and smoke again.
Okay.
And he was out there. It just happened from there.
Okay. How do you know that was the same person?
Because Devin saw his face.
And so Devin told you that was the person?
Yes.
Okay. And then what happened?
It happened.
What does that mean to you? You don't have to tell me names.
Bloody mess.
Bloody mess? Okay.
I wasn't even trying to harm anybody.
Okay. Things got out of control? Okay.
My anger came out too much. I have anger issues.
Okay. Well, maybe that's something that we can get some help with. Okay? So what happened?
I'm listening.
Okay. How can we help you with your anger issues?
Get me counseling.
Okay.
Some therapy. I'll go to that every day.
Do you know that is a possibility?
I know I have patience. I don't have IQ. I don't have birth certificate. I don't even have social. I have nothing.
But there's lots of resources out there.
I've been trying to get those resources ever since I've been here.
Well, maybe this will prompt the courts to start taking action. Does that make sense? Justin?
I guess.
Okay.
I just don't want to go to jail.
Okay.
I can't.
So you didn't do the truck? Okay. If somebody else did? Okay. What did you do? Are we talking just something minor? Like what?
I kind of stepped on his head. I wasn't doing it hard. I was doing it like...
You stepped on his head lightly? Okay.
No matter how desperately Justin tried to hide behind the excuse of anger issues, the truth cut straight through the lie. The surveillance footage didn't just expose him, it condemned him. It showed Justin throwing the first punch, dropping the victim to the ground without warning. And then came the real brutality. Quentin stepping in and swinging that skateboard again and again, each blow more vicious than the last. The damage they inflicted wasn't just violent, it was fatal. 8 days later, on August 15th, 2023, the man they ambushed died from catastrophic head injuries. And with that, whatever room there was for doubt or sympathy vanished. The mask was off. The cruelty was undeniable. Without wasting another second, both suspects were marched into the cold machinery of courtroom proceedings. Nearly 2 years later, in July 2025, the courtroom finally heard the truth laid out under oath. Quentin P. Tyndale, whose skateboard became the fatal weapon, chose to plead guilty. Judge Rochelle Anderson of Spokane County Superior Court handed down a sentence of 123 months, just over 10 years, followed by 3 years of community custody. Tyndale had no prior felonies, but the brutality of this attack left no room for leniency. Meanwhile, the story was far from over for the second attacker, Justin D. Haylett, the one who threw the first punch, still stood accused of second-degree murder. As of February 2025, Quentin P. Tyndale was sentenced to 123 months, 10 years and 3 months, after pleading guilty to second-degree murder. Justin Haylett was charged with second-degree murder. His trial was scheduled for May 2025, following the sentence of Quentin P. Tyndale. As of the last publicly available records, no verdict or sentencing for Haylett has been reported in credible media or court summaries after May 2025.
When I went and checked on him, bullet was dead center in his chest. That's the first thing I saw when I looked at him.
Gwinnett County 911, where is your emergency?
Horseshoe Drive, I just shot somebody.
Or Horseshoe Drive?
Horseshoe Drive, I just shot somebody.
Hearing this, officers wasted no time in bringing him in for interrogation, determined to uncover the secrets behind this cold-blooded homicide.
So before we get started, I just want to get your full name, date of birth, address, and stuff, okay? So, Ashton, how do you spell your first name?
A-S-H-T-O-N.
And what's your middle initial?
J.
And how do you spell your last name?
H-E-I-E-R.
And what's your date of birth?
8405.
And what's your home address?
All my license says, but I recently changed it to.
Graduated high school by chance?
I think I did, yeah.
Okay, so you understand the English language, right? Yeah. Okay. But before I do, I gotta read you your rights, okay? If you got any questions on anything that I read to you, ask. I'll reread it, I'll explain it the best I can, so that you hopefully clarifies your question, okay?
From the moment detectives brought him in, something felt off. Right from the start, Ashton lays it on thick that he's emotionally distraught, even as to welling up while being asked simple background information. But this is just the opening act. What follows is a calculated performance built on lies, manipulation, and misdirection.
A couple questions about him.
Sure.
What happened to him?
To Aaron? Aaron passed away. You can take a minute if you need. You want me to see if I can find some Kleenex or something?
Yes.
I'll go get some.
Take as much time as you need, okay?
It's supposed to hurt.
What's that?
It's a bad thing to hurt. Can't even try it. It was right.
What's that?
It's not right.
Grab some toilet paper.
You know, I was feeling most.
What's that?
I was feeling most.
What's that?
Looking at him.
Okay.
There's a garbage can if you need it.
Ashton's demeanor shifts the moment he hears that Aaron is dead. It was important for the detectives to check whether it was one of his calculated tricks or the weight of guilt crashing down. It didn't take much time for the detectives to understand that this is all a part of his plan. In order to gain as much sympathy as possible from the detective in the hope that his cold-blooded murder would be considered as a simple case of self-defense. But the detectives are seasoned and unshakable, determined to get to the truth despite his constant attempts to manipulate them. Thus, they decided on the perfect moment to press harder and get to the truth.
Well, we'd like to talk to you as long as you're willing about what happened yesterday, okay, or today. If you could you run through the day for us?
We're just trying to figure out what happened, Ashton. We just kind of want a whole picture so we can all understand what happened and why it happened.
For what place? I actually did it.
So,
We started.
Yep. So what did you do when you woke up today?
Well, I woke up. Your girlfriend got she made breakfast and that little camper up there.
Yeah.
And then, Mom, we gotta go. You gotta go. She said, "Where are we going?" I said, "Well, we gotta." I said,
Can you talk just a little louder for us?
I said, "Well, we gotta go do a few things." I said, "I gotta go do some things. If you want to come with?" And she said, "Yes." So Ricky is, I think he's on the fire chief board for Danbury Fire Department.
Okay.
It's like one of the family member is. I go over to her house and we do little things here and there for her.
Do you know their last names?
I know.
Okay.
So when I was there, and we're having fun, whatever. She's like, "Why did I go do laundry?" It's okay. So lady left, went to go do laundry. We finished up ripping up tiles on the floor. We swept up, cleaned up, left, and then I went back went back to the house, and coming back from there, we stopped here at the government center.
Okay.
Actually, and there was an officer saying that he had papers for me at my mom's house. So I stopped here to get the papers.
Okay.
They couldn't give me like a certain. They just said that we don't really know, but we can send an officer over. So I just gave him my address.
Yeah.
We left here, and then I went over to the roundabout bar. It was like, well, you want to go get He's like, yes. And I said, all right. And we went there.
Take your time.
As Ashton recounts his day, his tone is steady and appears to be calm. But the moment detectives bring up Aaron's topic, everything starts shifting, as if he's desperately trying to deflect, steering the conversation away and casting himself as the real victim to evoke sympathy. Eventually, what started as a simple round of questioning slowly turns into a twisted nightmare that no one was prepared for as more details of the crime slowly surface.
Folks said, no, not there, and we went to Dairy Queen instead.
Okay.
Dairy Queen, we were just on our way home, pulling up in the driveway. And Aaron was standing at the mailbox.
Okay.
He stops the truck at the first driveway. He starts yelling at me, he says, he didn't steal my saw. He had all this and all this. And he's just trying to tell him about it. And I told him just to leave me, but he told him to leave me alone, belligerently. And pulled up the second driveway trying to avoid him, and went up and backed the truck up at the house.
Kind of where it's sitting right now?
Yeah, exactly where it's sitting right now. As soon as I was, shut the truck off, I grabbed my stuff. We put stuff on, opened the door. I shut the door. Dairy Queen up on the hood of the truck on the driver's side. He starts walking up to me. And he starts yelling at me. He's cussing at me. He's just saying, bait at me, or threatening me to kill me. And then,
right from the start, Ashton does not hesitate to give away essential details, recounting everything that happened on the fateful day. All the while trying to garner sympathy, he thinks that he's being cooperative and gaining the favor of the detective. But little does he know that his own words will play against him. Information is a detective's greatest weapon, and Ashton is giving him just that, unaware that it'll be the reason for his downfall.
I don't know what happened, but Aaron had something else in his hand, but it was they threw it at me. After he did that, he turned around and walked towards Tina with the bat. And
you know what he threw at you?
And it was just there's not much else around the place that you can pick up and throw, really, otherwise it's garbage.
And when he threw this item at you, where were you standing?
Right by the truck, right where the Dairy Queen is on the truck.
Okay.
Right there.
Right on I guess I didn't notice, was the Dairy Queen on the hood?
I believe so.
Okay.
He was around, there's a tall popple tree. It was just straight up, and there's another one next to it that was cut down. It's got a notch out. It's got a notch out of the tree. From about where he was standing when he threw something at me. And he was turning around to get him with the bat. I was grabbing the 22 out of the truck. I wasn't going to shoot him with it or nothing like that. I was just grabbing it because I don't leave guns laying around in the trucks or vehicles or whatever. And then I was grabbing that, and he started fighting about something. And then his attention drifted back towards me. As he turned around, started yelling at me again. I got the gun in my hand, and then
you got the what?
I got the gun in my hand. Mm-hmm. It is loaded. It's always loaded. Safety's always on. And the gun it doesn't have the crosshair safeties on it either. It's on the bolt action.
Okay.
And you connect. You try to forcefully remove it. It's tight fit between the scope and your fingers.
So safety's like a little fin that sticks up off the back end of the bolt.
Correct.
And when it's on, it's down to the right. Take it off, you have to flip it up, right?
Correct.
Okay.
As I was doing that, he's coming towards me. I told him to stop twice. I let off a round. And
when
to the left.
So you shot off a round, and you said it was to the left, so it's just to the left of where he kind of was?
What I mean by left, I mean
way left.
So I didn't want to hit nobody.
Ashton claims he'd turned off the safety, aimed, and pulled the trigger on the day of the tragedy. For someone insisting he didn't mean to shoot his stepbrother, his actions tell a different story, one that leaves detectives deeply unsettled. It was evident from his own words that there was a deep-seated hatred for Aaron, making the motive all too clear for the detectives. Detectives are finally able to get closer to the motive, as Ashton's story seems to be all over the place, and soon the detectives are about to expose the cracks in his story, leaving him nowhere to run.
I was trying to avoid everything. I told him to leave me alone and stay away from me. That was the third warning, was the warning shot. And then he started walking away again. And he turns around and said something about James. He said,
okay.
I don't know if you know that is.
Yeah. Yep.
He said something about James pulled a knife on me. I wasn't scared. And he starts going on and on and on and on and on. He starts coming. I shouldn't really say that. He starts cussing me. He starts swearing at me. He starts saying James pulled a knife on me and I wasn't scared. I'm going to f you up and all this. He's just walking at me again. And he still got that bat in his hand. And as soon as he got about to the front of the truck, I pulled the trigger. As soon as he pulled the trigger, he just light me through the back now. And then he cupped his chest like this, and he started backing up and, twisting and groaning and moaning and hit the ground, and I was thinking, I go run back into the truck to find my phone. I'm trying to find my phone, Tina's yelling, call 911. I should not find my phone. Aaron hit the ground. I can hear him breathing. He gets Tina's shaking him. I'm telling Tina to leave him alone. He was fine. I'm trying. They can leave it to be okay. For the center council. I let one fast I could. She said, "Wait, I think it was gonna be okay. I think it was gonna be fine. Make sure he's still breathing." It's one thing shooting somebody. That's self-defense. That's another thing looking at that person after you did.
Suspects often claim they had no choice or were forced into pulling the trigger, but in Ashton's case, his own words give him away. His repeated claims of being beaten and tortured by Aaron reveal a motive rooted in vengeance. Still, detectives are waiting for something more concrete to confirm their suspicions.
So you said that he threw something at you, but you're not quite sure what it was?
Oh.
Did it hit the truck or did it hit you?
Right over my head. Right past. Went somewhere, I don't know.
And he said he still had the bat.
He still had the bat.
And he's saying things, talking about the pulling the 9 on him. He's gonna.
If I said something, he said just like this. James pulled the 9 on me, and I didn't cower down, I didn't flinch, nothing, but it's something like that, and he started saying he's gonna kill me, he's gonna bash my brain, and just kept going on and on about it. And the closer he got, the more I thought he was serious.
And he still had the bat in his hand?
Still had the bat in his hand.
As he's walking towards you, what's he doing with the bat? Is he doing anything with it?
He had it up over his shoulder like he was going to come at me and hit me with it. And he wasn't walking slow. And I actually thought he was going to come at me with it. Puke.
And as he's coming towards you, you said you went and got the gun. Where were you standing once you grabbed the gun?
The door was, so when I left the truck and I put the stuff on the hood, I shut the door.
Okay.
After he threw the stick at me and he was walking away, I was grabbing the other stuff because I've already had issues with him with that gun. There's already a file with the police report about it, so I kind of take it wherever. It isn't mine. It's some stepdad's. It's one of the properties. The gun case and the bullets were found in the house. The gun was underneath the camper.
Okay. So once you grab the gun, where do you go?
I never left the side of the truck.
Okay. So are you like behind the driver's door?
Behind the driver's door. But it wasn't open. It was open, but it wasn't
all the way open.
No, it wasn't all the way. Yeah, it wasn't all the way open. It was like it was shut all the way. So I mean, he was coming towards the front of the truck, off to the right, up to the driver's side of the truck. And as he got about 7 feet away.
How far away was it when you fired the warning shot?
Well, actually, he's about 12, 13 feet away. He was on the side, he was on the far right from the driver's side door of that truck. He was more towards the right of that big poplar that stands up. That's right on the horseshoe of the driveway. And I fired the warning shot on this side of that tree in the driveway. Because I don't want to hit anybody.
Even without much pressure, Ashton volunteers every detail of what happened and his role in it. This is a classic trait of a person who's guilty. They over-explain in hopes of appearing cooperative and innocent. The detective quietly picks up on this, letting Ashton talk himself deeper, creating the perfect opportunity to catch him in a lie.
And after you fired that warning shot, what did he do?
He just started coming at me more, saying something about old James. He's 9 and I ain't gonna let down. I'm gonna kill you.
And how far away do you think he was when you fired the shot?
7 or 8 feet.
How close to the front of the truck do you think he was?
About 6.5, 7 feet.
Okay. Did he drop the bat immediately?
He kind of tossed it.
Tossed it down forward or backwards?
Well, see, that's the thing. See, where I'm at and the way the bat hit the ground, it's kind of funny. I think it hit the truck and then bounced off the truck and went back that way.
Okay. Do you think he threw the bat at the truck?
I think he was trying to hit me with the bat. And it hit the truck instead and it bounced off the truck and went back that way.
Okay. So did he throw the bat after you shot or just before you shot?
Just right after I shot.
Right after you shot. Okay.
And you know, like I say, I couldn't even see through the scope. I mean, it's dark. I couldn't see through the scope. I'm just trying to eyeball it, trying to hit him. I wasn't even trying to aim at him. I wasn't even aiming at him. I just kind of
What's your and Aaron's relationship? So you brothers, step brothers, or brothers? Step brothers? How long have you two had a relationship that you've like known each other truly?
He's always been in and out of prison and he'd always gone and he's always doing this and he's always doing that. We never really had a relationship.
Okay.
We always had an equal understanding, I guess.
Okay.
How long of you guys would you say have been stepbrothers?
I don't really consider my brother because he was always trying to hurt me.
Has he ever hurt you before?
Yeah.
What has he done to you before?
He used to hit me. He used to throw me downstairs. He intimidated me. He used to grab me by the throat.
When did this stuff happen?
while ago.
When you say a while, are we talking like 5 years?
A couple of years ago.
A couple of years ago?
I mean, I spent 2022, April 2022 to April 2023 in the facility. And then it was before that.
Ashton and Aaron were stepbrothers, but there was only constant tension and underlying fear. It was clear that they never shared a real bond and often had conflict related to the properties of their father. Ashton brought forth shocking revelations from years of torment, physical intimidation, and even being choked by Aaron. This wasn't just another sibling rivalry, but a history of abuse and unresolved anger. And the question remains the same. Was this a genuine story of abuse, or was Ashton crafting a narrative to justify his actions? Detectives press further, and it's only a matter of time before it all falls apart.
You said that when you showed up, Aaron kind of just jumped on you about this chainsaw. Had you confronted him before about this chainsaw?
I did.
When was that?
Right before we went to, it's Ricky's sibling, or Ricky's family.
Okay.
Right before we went there, my sister Ava was there. Ava, Nathan, and James was there actually. And I went from about the saw and asked him, I said, hey, you got this? And he goes, no, I don't got it. I said, all right, no big deal. So I told you can use it any time. I just want it back. And he goes, okay, whatever. And then just, like I said, that's the worst that I probably got was I said, I told you can use it any time you want. Just can you give it back to me, you know? And then I left.
And when you got back, did you ask him anything about the saw first, or you just started right in on it?
He just went to town on it. And right before I pulled into the driveway, I was talking to the neighbor guy, Drew. I was talking to him about it. You know, I got people there. I mean, it was just bang, bang, boom, and
it sounds like when you confronted him, I'm assuming it was on James Way, right?
yeah.
Were you guys like yelling then, or was because just by the way you mean it sounded like it was normal conversation?
It was a normal conversation. There was nothing out of the blue about it.
He didn't seem mad about it. You didn't do him. Did you give him any inclination that you were mad about it?
Well, I just said, yeah. I said, look. And then he had another chainsaw. We were talking about that. And I was trying to help him figure that thing out too. I mean, it wasn't like I went there all ballistic and went nuts about it. I mean, it's just a chainsaw.
Ashton paints Aaron as the irrational one, always out of control, leaving him at the mercy of his stepbrother's volatile behavior. It's a calculated attempt to position himself as the victim in the story, hoping that the detectives will see him as a helpless target, rather than someone who killed his brother out of spite.
What time do you think that you went over and had this conversation with him this morning? Was this morning or afternoon or what?
Just right before I left. Is this normal?
Probably.
It's terrible. Yeah, the truck pretty much the entire time.
Okay. Did she ever tell you to put the gun down or put the gun away?
Nobody did. I heard Tina yelling at Aaron, and Aaron yelling back at Tina.
What was Tina yelling at Aaron, do you know?
I don't know, they're always fighting.
Okay.
Do you know what Aaron came out to the house for?
I don't.
Because he's not living there, correct?
Correct. He shows up, he raids Dad's fridge, he put a hatchet in Dad's refrigerator, he's knocked out windows, he's just violent. I tried telling the law about a lot of it, but most of the time Dad doesn't want it to happen. Dad doesn't want the law to show up. You know, I don't understand it. So then, when certain things came up, of course I called you guys.
So you fired, is it correct, 2 shots?
2 shots. gave out 4 warnings, verbal warnings.
What did you say when you warned him?
I said, first time, I said, stay away from me, don't come near me, and leave me alone. And then the second time, I said, stay away from me, I'll shoot you. And he said, you ain't got the ball, so I let off a warning shot. It was the third warning. I said, told you to stay away from me. And then he turned around and went right back to me. And then they bickered back and forth, maybe 30 seconds. And they start, and as I'm getting my stuff ready to go back up in the house, he starts coming at me again.
When he went back to Tina, did he have the baseball bat then?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Did he pick that up before or after the warning shot?
Before.
Before the warning shot?
Yep.
Okay. And he kept it with him the whole time?
The whole time.
Okay. Do you know where he got the baseball bat from?
Sometime.
After you fired the second round, did you eject that casing, or is that casing still inside the gun?
The casing is still inside the gun.
Okay. And did you put the gun back inside the truck?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And as I put the gun back inside the truck, me and Georgia were trying to find my phone. The second after that, I put that gun down. I was trying to find that phone. Should have a few dollars. I don't know if they should know this, but see, Georgia, that's all the money we got between the two of us. Can someone get that to him?
Where is it at? Is it in the truck or is it
upstairs? I think.
Oh, upstairs. Well,
or should I?
She was going to your mom's.
My mom's?
Yeah.
What you could do is, either we can try and figure out a way to get it to her,
she come here and get it,
or she could come here and get it.
As soon as the conversation shifts to his family, something in Ashton changes. He stumbles over basic facts, his thoughts scattered, and the weight of guilt or buried truth creeping within him. Yet the detectives don't press too hard, but they know they've touched a nerve he's been trying to protect for so long.
Are you on probation right now?
I'm supervision supervisor.
Okay.
There goes that.
Ashton, you have a cell phone, okay? And we do have that, all right? Do you have a passcode for your cell phone?
I do.
Would you be willing to give that to us? If you have the passcode, because then we can get it there and we get it back right away and they'll try and break into it. So.
I don't think, actually, last time I was in here, I can get into it, I don't think. Anyway. But they never asked me either. They never asked me for my code.
Right. This just makes it go a lot faster and then you can get it back for that, so.
I will get, I think I gave my last one out.
Do you have any questions for us? Should I take mine upstairs? We'll get them one. We'll send the card up for you.
What's my situation gonna be?
Well, this is still an ongoing investigation right now, so.
It's murder.
Well, we have to treat every death as homicide until we can prove it's not, okay? We still have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of people to talk to.
We got a long ways to go, basically.
I can tell you phone calls that I made today to my sister.
Who else did you call?
The lady that I went to the house to live up Child's.
Okay.
That lady too. She called me first thing in the morning, actually.
And you have her phone, her name in there too as well? Her name, that's not, no, but we'll have her number.
It's at 1583, I believe.
Any others?
I think I actually bought a phone call midday.
Okay.
After the incident happened, when you called 911, did you call anybody else afterwards?
Oh, I was on the phone with dispatch the whole time.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we appreciate you sitting down here.
Thank you for talking to us.
If we, is it alright if we have any other questions, we get a hold of you and come back and talk again?
No problem.
Okay,
Okay.
sounds good.
Melissa's gonna be upset. Logan.
Oh.
She's gonna be upset.
Alright. We're gonna get you back upstairs.
Get you back upstairs, and we got a lot of work to do yet, so.
Okay.
Ashton struggles to explain himself, his words wavering between justification and denial. But no matter how hard he tries, the facts speak for themselves. His conflicting statements, the forensic analysis, and the sequence of events all painted a picture of premeditation and violence. In the end, it was clear he was the main culprit, and now the case is heading to trial. After nearly a year of investigation and courtroom battles, justice was finally served on August 26, 2024. Ashton Heyer was charged with reckless homicide and held on a $50,000 cash bond. The judge sentenced him to consecutive prison terms, sealing his future behind bars. Initially charged with multiple homicide offenses, Ashton faced the possibility of more than 80 years in prison. However, in June 2024, he accepted a plea deal. Ashton was convicted on 2 charges: homicide by negligent use of a weapon and being a felon in possession of a firearm. As part of the agreement, the other charges were dismissed.
I need help. My dad's just been shot. I just came home and he's on the ground. I don't know. I need an ambulance. Inside the house? Yeah, he's on the ground. Do you know who did this to him? No, I just came home.
On December 14th, 2003, 17-year-old Jason McLennan made his frantic 911 call, reporting a chilling discovery. His father, Kenneth McLennan, was in a pool of blood, fatally shot 6 times. With no traces of the suspect, detectives focused on the grieving son, unaware of the chilling mystery they were stepping into.
He was shot.
You guys got to see him. I didn't get to see him.
You didn't walk over and look at him? You had to have, because you told the dispatcher that he was shot.
You saw your dad on the floor in blood. What would you do?
Go see what happened.
No way.
Detectives would soon uncover layers of a far darker truth, a twisted plot carried out with a chilling intent. Prior to this horrific incident, Jason had been out with his friend Matthew Moeller. Upon arriving home, he stepped into a nightmare, prompting him to call 911. When the paramedics arrived and examined Kenneth's body, they pronounced him dead at the scene. The police identified multiple gunshot wounds on Kenneth's body, including one in his hand, suggesting he may have tried to defend himself. To gain a clearer understanding of how this tragic incident unfolded, officers take Jason into custody for further questioning.
I snuck out about 9:30.
Okay. You plan to sneak out with Matt? Is this something that you did fairly often, or?
Yeah. I don't usually have to sneak out though.
Because nobody's
I
on.
mean, my dad got home yesterday and he was supposed to leave again tonight.
Oh, he was. Where was he supposed to go to tonight? Okay. Do you know for how long or anything like that?
Till Monday.
Till Monday. Okay. But last night he had to sneak out. Yeah, because otherwise it probably wouldn't have been such a good situation, huh? What did you do when you snuck out?
Like how I left? Or?
Yeah, I mean, did Matt come over to the house?
Yeah, he parked like our driveway and then our mailbox too. He parked like right there.
Okay.
And walked down that side to my back door and then knocked on the door. And then I left with him. We cruised down Vision, a couple of the streets, bought some cigarettes from Go For It at about 11. Cruised around some more till about 1:20, 1:30. He dropped me off. I snuck back in that door.
I'm going to back you up just a second. Okay, I'll let you finish what you're going to explain to me. When he came to your house, He came down to you said that must be the back door. You're talking about the walkout from the basement. Is that what you told him to do, or is that what he's used to doing?
That's what I told him to do.
Okay. And other doors in your house at this time locked? Don't know. Okay.
Probably not if we were all home.
Okay. And during this time, it's just you and your father home, correct? So Matt, does Matt come in then?
Yeah.
Okay. And what time do you think he got to your house?
Yeah, like 9:30, 9:35.
Okay. And how long before you left the house then?
Maybe 20 minutes.
Okay. So what did you do in that, what occurred during that time frame?
I went to the bathroom. We sat down. Then we left.
Okay. Were you in the basement? In what vehicle?
His car. He just cruised around, drove back down 33rd, and I don't know what road it is, but the one after Cooper, we took a right, went down that way. And then about 120-ish, 130-ish, he dropped me back off.
Okay. Did you guys see anybody else during the evening? Hang out with anybody else? Call anybody? Anything like that? Did you have a phone with?
I had my cell phone.
Did he have a phone with?
No.
Okay. So nobody, did anybody call you guys?
No.
And you never made any phone calls last night that you remember when you were with him?
He pulled, like, in front of the driveway. I didn't think this was important, but the officer last night wanted to know. He pulled, like, in front of the driveway. He didn't pull in. And I got out and walked across the driveway and back across that same side that we left. And went back in that sliding door. And I took my shoes off. Took my shower.
Okay.
Went upstairs to get a drink. And I heard my dog crying and I looked over and I was just kind of on the ground.
Okay. When you got home and you walked across the driveway, did you walk past the front door? You didn't. And I'm not familiar with the house, so you don't have to walk past the front door to get to where you were headed down to the back door. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So you took the same path then around the side of the house and to the back door.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did Matt come in with you?
Yeah.
Did he just drive away?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you see anything suspicious around the house or anything like that when you got there?
I wasn't really looking.
Okay. So, okay. Would that have normally woken your father up? No.
Kenneth's wife, Betty Irene Relf, was diagnosed with cancer when Jason was just 12 years old. The family temporarily moved from Florida to Canada for her treatment. However, Kenneth, an affluent executive, often remained absent due to his work commitments. While Betty suffered from severe illness, Kenneth soon began dating Lawrence Morand, a Swiss businesswoman who moved into their home. The couple even planned to marry, which gradually created a rift in the father-son relationship. No one, however, could have anticipated that these details would soon take a drastic twist, leading to a chilling connection with the horrific crime. Meanwhile, at the crime scene, detectives find 3 sets of footprints in the backyard, which they believe belonged to the murderer. As these prints are sent for examination, the results are shocking. One set remains unidentified. However, the other 2 match Jason and Matthew's boots. This discovery ultimately raises suspicion and prompts the detective to confront Jason.
And my job isn't a whole lot easier being one of the officers trying to put all these pieces together. Okay. It's just really important for you, because I don't know you. I don't know what kind of person you are. But it's really important for me to illustrate to you that we get the facts and that we get the truth. And that we get it as soon as possible. I'm trying to put this whole thing together, and it's kind of like putting a puzzle together. You know what I mean? And I have to be honest with you that some of the things that we've discussed, I believe you've been truthful with me about. But there's other things that seem to not match up. And this is just, in my experience in doing this and talking to people and working with people on things, there's things that we have to fill in the gaps for. Okay, there's pieces of the puzzle that just don't match up. You know what I mean?
What doesn't match up?
What I want to explain to you is that I want to make sure we have all the facts laid out, because right now it's important that you have that we have your honesty. Okay, and it's important that we establish that now, rather than to find out things later. After something comes up at the residence or in further conversations with friends or acquaintances, something that we have to go back and ask you about that you weren't truthful with us on. That's going to make things a lot worse for you. Do you understand that? We've talked to Matt, we've talked to Kyle and some other friends, okay? Mm-hmm. And some of the things just aren't adding up exactly the way they should be.
Like what?
Couple things. When was the last time, I think one of the officers today did some gunshot residue tests on your hands, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
When's the last time you would have fired a weapon of any kind?
Earlier this week at Matt's house.
Earlier this week? What day do you think?
Maybe Sunday, maybe Saturday. Boy.
Because it's important for me to understand why there would be any gunshot residue on your skin or anything like that. And those are the facts that I want to, those are the things I want to clear up with you. I need to find out exactly, when you would have fired a weapon, what kind of weapon it would have been that you fired, that type of thing, okay?
Okay.
Earlier this week at Matt's?
Yeah.
That's Matt Mueller?
Yeah.
What day do you remember? I know you said, but
Saturday or Sunday.
Saturday or Sunday.
He had me and Clinton, Tamar, Kayla over that night.
Okay.
His little brother was there. We were shooting a sign across the street from his house.
Okay. Colette and Tamar?
Yeah, I don't know Tamar's last name.
Is it Tamar or Tamara?
Tamar.
That's a girl?
Yeah.
So that was Saturday or Sunday night?
Yeah.
Were his parents home?
Yeah.
No. What were you shooting?
A rifle.
Do you know what kind?
Yeah.
Do you know what caliber? What color?
Black.
Black. Where were you shooting that at?
His front porch.
Okay. Front porch meaning?
I believe it was just this one, not this one that just passed, but the one before that.
So about a week or 8 days ago, 8 or 9 days ago?
I guess so.
Does that sound right?
Yeah.
It wasn't just this past weekend while your father was out of town. It was a week ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you shot any weapons since that point in time? No? Is there any reason that you would have any gunshot residue on your hands? No. Is there any reason that any of the clothing that you have at your house would have any blood on it?
Mm-hmm.
No reason at all.
Not besides my blood.
Not besides yours?
Yeah.
Where would you have blood from? Or what clothes would you have blood from?
I don't know that guy who cuts there.
Okay.
I'm always scraping up my hands.
Would that be on the clothes that you would have had on yesterday or anything?
No, I doubt it.
You doubt it. There shouldn't be blood on anything that you had on. Tell us something that wasn't true about you or about these circumstances.
I wouldn't see why.
Okay.
Maybe we messed up or just got something wrong. Maybe I messed up and didn't remember something right.
Is there anything that you can think of that you didn't remember right? That the reason I emphasize that, Jason, and like I told you earlier, facts are very important and the truth is very important. It's harder for us. It's actually harder on you to have to confront issues later on down the road that weren't the truth up front. You know what I mean? And I don't know you. I don't know the type of relationship that you had with your father, good or bad, other than sitting down and talking with you a little bit here today to try to understand a little bit what was going on. We know what happened, obviously. We know the circumstances we're dealing with. Our efforts are to try to find out why. That's the important part of today. Mm-hmm. Not what happened, but why it happened. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because there's all kinds of different explanations for why.
Jason seems quite confident in his claims of having no involvement in this harrowing crime. However, he's unaware that the evidence is stacking up against him, and it won't be long before detectives unravel his complex web of lies. Now, Jason is about to share some disturbing details about his father, truths that would not only expose his resentment, but would possibly provide a hidden motive behind this horrific murder.
We had our differences just because we were so similar. I love the guy.
Was he hard on you?
Not really. As long as I went to school and put an effort in, I didn't really have any problems.
But you hadn't been doing that lately, had you?
I've been kind of slacking this last time I left.
Did that cause some problems?
No, he didn't really know. The school called him, but I told him, but I just missed home.
Okay. Did you either one of you do anything in the past to upset each other? Hurt each other's feelings?
No, we always did stuff. He cheated on my mom and he was never there growing up. I took the car and had parties in the house.
Okay. So I guess to handle one thing at a time, to upset you, you said he cheated on your mom?
Yeah,
You said your mom passed away when you were 14, right?
Yeah, they were still married.
Okay. And how do you know that was going on?
Because I would find stuff. I found notes from his girlfriend.
Okay. And obviously, did your mother find out?
I don't know.
You never told her? Did you ever confront your dad about it?
Yeah.
When did you do that?
When we lived in Florida.
And how did that go?
We made a couple fights. Got over it.
Physical fights?
No.
Did he ever admit to you? Never did. But you still have your suspicions and...
Well, they're not suspicions. I found notes.
So
they were dated.
Okay. Do you have still hard feelings on that? No? How do you feel toward that person then?
To his girlfriend?
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of her. I gave her a pretty hard time for a while when she was living with us.
Okay. Did she ever live with you here?
No.
No? She ever visited here?
Yeah.
She did?
I don't think she ever saw this house.
Okay. Never been in this house as far as you...
Actually, that's not true. When we bought the house, she went with me. Yeah. When I was just kind of in shock. I said something. I said I thought that he'd been shot or stabbed, and there's blood on the ground. And I said I needed an ambulance.
Okay.
And I kept asking when the police were going to get here. I think that was basically it. She told me to keep my hands where the cops could see him. That was good.
Did you hear any shots? Did you hear anything at all?
Yeah.
Did you think that there was any...
On all those shows and stuff, like Law and Order and stuff, I always watch those, and they always, like, people that do that and stuff, they get in trouble. The cops tell them you're not supposed to do that.
Okay.
You tampering with the scene or the evidence, or if he had fell and his neck was broke, you paralyze him by moving him or something.
Did you call out to him to see if he'd talk to you?
By the way, my dog was just sitting there. The dog was all licking his face and sitting right there. He would have moved.
Okay, so you did not think that he was alive at that time then? Is that right or not?
I thought he might be unconscious. And
okay. But you didn't feel for a pulse or anything like that? You said that you saw some blood when you first got up there. Where did you see that at? Go ahead.
Like these are the stairs. Like these stairs would actually be a little bit more in line with that doorway.
Okay.
And there's kind of like a little info kind of thing with the sewing machine. I could see blood like right there by the corner of this stair. It looked like there was blood over here a little bit, but I couldn't tell.
On the floor?
Yeah.
Okay. And you said he had a greenish colored robe on. Any thoughts as to who might want to hurt him?
He's a really pretty good guy.
Did you ever have any desires to hurt him?
Of course. We had our fights and we yelled and said a whole bunch of shit he never meant, but never hurt him. It was always there for me.
When was the last time you talked to him prior to yesterday?
Jason's friends also informed detectives that he often confided in them about his troubled relationship with his father. Kenneth's infidelity to Betty was the main reason behind Jason's deep-seated resentment. Additionally, his bizarre assertion that he delayed checking on his father only to prevent any trouble reflects his emotional detachment from him. These are not the only disturbing factors that raise red flags. Detectives uncover another unsettling clue that ultimately solidifies their suspicion. One of Jason's high school classmates informs the police that Jason had been asking for help to murder his father, but no one agreed to help him. However, the only person who agreed to assist him was Matthew Moeller. With this pivotal evidence, detectives shift their focus to Matthew. Unbeknownst to Jason, his story, which is meant to keep him safe, and his blind trust in his friend are about to become the very things that turn the tables against him.
Interviewed, oh boy, a lot of people. And some of the people we've interviewed twice. And we've gone through the house. So we've got the physical evidence from the scene. And I think you probably know that Jason's been down here since about 3, 4 o'clock this morning.
You know, relationship?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Okay. So what we've done now is interviewed, like I said, numerous people. Jason's here. We've done the crime scene. We've got the physical evidence. Was it, who talked to you today, JJ? Okay. And then is it your vehicle that we have down here?
Yeah.
Okay. And
what physical evidence are you talking about?
well, hang on. I'm not going to give you my whole case because I'm going to give you the opportunity to do the right thing. I want you to make a choice about whether or not you want to talk to us about what happened and see if your story is going to fit in. Keep in mind now, and I know I've said this before, but we've interviewed a lot of people. What we do is we go interview people who do crime scenes at the same time, and that took a lot longer than we anticipated. And if that doesn't match the people for the first time, then we go back. So that's where we're at now. We have gone back now, and now we're getting the stories that match the scene.
So, who did you all, I suppose you can't tell me.
So I
suppose you can't tell me who you all took up the trust for that. You and Jason, was that it?
I'm not going to tell you the number of people that are in custody. I can tell you, when we're done with this. But it's going to be a give and take. You and I need to.
If you want to shorten it up, I'll throw in my story right now. Oh, Jason's skip class. It's all cool. I mean, he's a little unique sometimes, but never enough that I could kill Christine. I knew he liked to get in fights. That's about it. He kind of talked, everyone's going, oh, my dad would die,
My dad like.
If my dad would die, I'd get all to me. That's kind of like what he talked about. But nothing that, and then we'd sneak out or whatever, at nights when my parents would go some business and all of them. But he just called me up that night. I mean, nothing was really relevant past that point. He called me up and he just said, yeah, how's it going, And I said, pretty good. He goes, you got your 22? I said, yeah. He said, you want to bring that on? I see this. So I drove up there, give him the 22, and then we kept on talking. He tried to talk me into he tried to talk me into going and killing him because they knew he'd be the prime suspect if we didn't want him. They didn't want him to do it, but I couldn't do it, so I told him I was a dramatic thing to do with it. And then he was just like, okay, fine. And he took the gun from me and he said, just go wait out the car. So I went out in the car and then he came home. And here.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't see anything. He just hear me to go out to the car. All I kind of heard was a popping noise one time, but I didn't hear anything else. I didn't really try and listen at all. I had the car turned off, so. Because I honestly didn't think he was going to do it. I thought he was just going to mess with me and walk out to my car. I thought he was just going to come out with that car. Pull the door and just give it a couple knocks, then he comes up. But this time he's just coming for a second. That when we started talking, it was speechless, And we just talked about it for a while. And then we just decided to do it. I mean, he didn't really tell me. He was just more or less, he just said, go out to the car.
Okay, so it was right away when you went over there at night, 10 o'clock. But you guys didn't leave the boat cruise and you just went over it when you got out of the car, did you?
No, like he came back like after he did it. I guess he did do it then. But he came back to my car and we went and just drove around for a couple hours till about 1:30, and then I just dropped him off. Went home.
Okay, I guess I'm confused. If you go over there at 10 o'clock and you go down to his basement,
He wants me to kill his dad.
did he ask you that?
He asked me if I wanted to.
Yeah.
He never really just indirectly came up to me and said, "Do you want to kill my dad?" It was basically kind of just saying like how he could. And then like, one day he kind of got more serious about it, and I kind of was just like, okay, if you're scared, but I didn't really want to say anything. I just thought he was.
What are you doing to get out of it?
I don't know what out of this.
Maybe you're just supposed to do this for him?
Yeah, like, I don't know, he told me like we'd be living the high life and all this stuff, but
What does that mean?
because his dad's got a lot of money.
Oh, okay. Did he offer you any of that to kill him?
I mean, he offered me a place to stay and stuff. He said he'd be able to stay here with me in his house.
Okay.
So, he's not one king of the world, but still I won't kill a person.
Just doesn't count rich.
Well, 'cause he told me that pretty much I want to save mine. I had to do something with Meryl, and I can strike that over.
Like in the top of the girl?
Like that, or how much.
Where's the olive branch?
My house, I'm going to bring the boat, get elevation.
Okay. Alright, and the purpose for that was?
Told Meryl.
Oh, okay.
They told me to do it, so I did it.
Okay.
Matthew acknowledges his involvement, but insists that Jason was the one who killed his father. However, he fails to realize that it is he who assisted Jason in executing the plan. During the investigation, detectives discover a .22 caliber rifle in Matthew's room. They retrieve it and send it for examination. Furthermore, Matthew's statement also reveals that he deliberately scratched the inside of the gun barrel to prevent it from matching it in a ballistic examination. However, after re-examining, the result shows a match and strengthens the evidence against them. Additionally, Matthew reveals that the third set of footprints, discovered at the scene, came from his own boots, which both he and Jason used to distract investigators. With all the mounting evidence, detectives are ready to confront Jason. But will Jason continue to cling to his fabricated lies? Or is he about to face a devastating twist that would ultimately crumble his defense?
75%, if not higher, percent of shootings, accidental or not, are done by family members. Okay? Yes, I can. That's a fact. First thing the police do is go to the family members, and that's what we're doing. Now I'll go to the jury and I say, hey, I got gunshot residue on the family member. And they're going to say, well, he took a shower. And we're going to say, yep. And scientific evidence shows that sometimes showering is an issue and sometimes it's not. And apparently in this case, it wasn't. And God, don't let me go to a jury with that without you giving a reason. If that's where we're
That's all you have. I mean, I didn't do anything. That's not enough to send someone to jail for it, especially when I didn't even do it.
I think it is. I think you need to think about that.
For that one reason, you're going to be able to screw me even though I didn't do anything?
I'm not screwing you, Jason. I'm offering you an opportunity to talk to me about what happened.
We're not trying to screw you in any way, shape, or form. And like I said, the
told you everything I know.
And we talked about facts, didn't we? We didn't talk about feelings.
No.
Right?
No,
Do you really think feelings are important in a situation like this?
I don't know.
Well, what do you think? I do. I think they're very important.
That's going back to trying to say that I did it.
Not necessarily. I just think the feelings are very important.
Well, how do I know the feelings of whoever did this?
I don't know.
That's what makes a huge difference, though.
Large amount of time to work on. And I think, you can understand why. I mean, there's a lot of.
I don't understand why.
A lot of people talk about it. Because
you understand what?
Why I'm here. Why I have to be helped. I didn't do anything.
Because we haven't cleared you yet. That's why.
There's a billion other people in the world that haven't been cleared. They're not sitting in a room for 12 hours in clothes that aren't even theirs.
You might be surprised who we've talked to today.
Who'd you talk to? Surprise me.
What's that?
Surprise me. Who'd you talk to?
No, I'm not going to discuss that part of the investigation with you until you're cleared. Then I'm going to sit down and tell you everything.
Good.
So far, I'm telling you everything I know regarding the scene and your stories to get you out of here. Figure out what's going on. You know, were you there? Do you know more about it? And I still think that stuff isn't matching up. I'm being perfectly honest with you.
What?
So, you just hang tight until they're done down there and...
Can I at least have a cigarette?
Yeah, well, yeah, just don't tell me to hold dear.
Despite all the evidence closing in on Jason, he tries hard to dissociate himself from the crime. But all his efforts are futile. The investigation reaches a pivotal moment when the DNA reports confirm that the blood on Jason's clothes matches that of Kenneth. They also recover a glove that contains Jason's DNA on the inside and gun residue on the outside. Despite Matthew's attempt to render the firearm useless, the firearm examiner discovered a blood drop inside the barrel. When tested, it was identified as belonging to Kenneth. These incriminating pieces of evidence led the detectives to believe that the motive behind this tragic murder was Jason's desire to inherit his father's $1.4 million estate, fueled by years of resentment. On January 16, 2003, both Jason and Matthew were charged with murder. The trial began on September 8, 2003. Initially, Jason pleaded not guilty, but later he presented an entirely different version of his story. He claimed that he acted in self-defense because he feared for his life due to his father's abusive nature. However, other testimonies from his friends and family led the court to dismiss his claim. He was found guilty of first-degree premeditated murder and was sentenced to life in prison. On the other hand, Matthew pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and received a 30-year sentence.